We have become a soft society. We are offended at everything.
Yeah.
We are, our parents don't parent anymore like they used to. Our kids are our friends. Like, it's not the same as it was when we were kids.
Yep.
And when we were kids, if you or I had shoplifted, I know what my mom would have done.
Yep.
I'd have been back in that store and my hand would have been whacked.
Oh, yeah.
And I'd have probably been working there for 10 hours to pay off the pack of gum I stole.
Right.
What I do is not lost on me, and I am so happy that these people are willing to put in the effort to make their life better.
Yeah.
Like, everybody's like, oh, it's you. It's not me. Mm-hmm. Like, I might give them the exercises and I might tell them what to do, but if they didn't do it,
right,
the rewards wouldn't be there. Neither would the success, right?
Sure.
So yes, while it is my program and I've got all the knowledge and I coach them on what to do, they have to do it.
Yeah.
And they have to put the effort. And the harder they work, the better they're going to be. So really, when somebody says that to me, I'm like, yeah, but you have to understand that the real heroes are these people that are living with these conditions. I want people to have medical autonomy, right? What you do for you is between you and your doctor. What I do for me is between me and my doctor. The government should not be telling me what I need to put into my body, and neither I should not be telling you what you need to put in your body. Right. If you want my advice as someone who has done some research and has been educated on certain things, I'm happy to give it to you, but I'm not a doctor, nor do I play one on TV.
Right.
But in my research, I have found that the COVID vaccine is dangerous.
Hello, and welcome to another episode of the only podcast that is still working and slaving right through the Thanksgiving holiday, the Why Can't We Talk About That podcast. Happy Thanksgiving to you. I'm sure that you agree with me that Thanksgiving is the greatest holiday of all time. If you don't agree, I am just gracious enough to allow you to be wrong. I am indeed that nice. Before listening to this week's discussion, I just want to make sure that you don't forget that all-important email address, which is whycan'twetalkaboutThat@proton.me. You can use this to contact me for any reason that you wish, but some of my personal favorite reasons would be to give me feedback about this episode, or even this podcast in general, and to let me know about the amazing future guests for the show that you have been keeping to yourself all this time. And finally, and maybe most importantly, please share this podcast with everyone that you know. Word of mouth is the only thing stopping this show from one day slowly fading into obscurity and dying a slow and painful death. My guest this week is April Huckabey, a community-minded leader, nonprofit founder, and small business co-owner who believes deeply in helping people live fuller, stronger lives. As the founder and head coach of Neuro-Fighters, she empowers individuals living with neurological conditions through non-contact boxing and functional exercise. At her core, April is driven by connections, helping people feel seen, supported, and capable of more than they ever thought possible. When she's not coaching, planning events, or writing or speaking about lifestyle changes for neurological wellness, you can usually find her laughing with friends, spending time with her family, or volunteering in the orchid community that she loves. Before listening to our discussion, April asked that we add this little disclaimer ahead of time. Enjoy the conversation.
All the opinions and views that I talk about on here are my own, not any part of any group I represent or may officiate for. Bedroom and
nice.
Like drink all the coffee.
Yeah.
You probably don't need much too caffeinated in April.
See, I don't like coffee at all. Like my wife loves coffee. You see, there's coffee mugs all over the place.
Yeah, I do too. Actually, my girlfriend got me started on coffee, and she created a monster.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just can't get into the.
Well,
taste.
to be fair, I drink flavored coffee.
Oh, okay. Like the coffee beans themselves are flavored, or you add like
I add stuff to it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
yeah, she does too. My wife does too. I mean, she'll drink it black,
like cold brew. I prefer cold brew.
Yeah.
Too. Yeah.
She likes that, but she will definitely, even when it's like 90 degrees outside, she still will drink it hot.
Oh, she wants a hot coffee.
Yeah. It's weird like that. But we just yesterday got back from a cruise, the first cruise we ever went on.
Oh, geez.
We went to Mexico.
Yeah, you're brave. I won't do that.
Oh, no?
No.
What is it you're scared of?
The water.
Okay, me too. Like I have big time phobia. Like I can't swim. at all.
Okay.
Scared to death. I'm scared of heights and water.
I'm not afraid of heights.
So it's like a 19-story boat.
Swim.
Okay. But why are you scared of water then?
Bad experience when I was a kid.
Okay.
If I go in the water, it doesn't usually go above like rib
Okay.
level.
Okay,
Yeah.
gotcha. Even though you can swim. You can swim.
I can. When I had kids, I made it a point to learn how to swim.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
See, and I've always made it a point, just never done it. Because I'm scared to even learn.
I did make it. I mean, I took swimming lessons as a kid.
Okay.
But I was never good at it. I don't even wash my face in the shower. Like, I hold the water when I wash my hair and like brush it back. I don't want anything to even drip down my face. I keep a towel there, and if it drips down my face, I mean, like, you
just don't like water on your face at all,
or anywhere near my upper extremities.
That's too funny.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
And like the ultimate death for me, I would rather be mauled by a tiger than drowned.
I would too. I think drowning. Okay,
they say it's peaceful.
Here's the no.
They say it's peaceful, but for me, it's anxiety-inducing.
Yes. I even said if I ever fell off a boat or something, I was like in the ocean, I would probably just go under and just take in a deep breath. Just to get it over with, so I wouldn't have to be
I don't think I could
literally
do that.
drowning.
I think I would panic.
Yeah.
I would literally panic.
Okay.
Like, I used to live in Seattle, and I have this huge bridge going into town from where I lived.
Okay.
And not the floating one, but it was this upper, it was over Lake Union.
Okay.
And I would have, every time I would go over it, I would think about it. Okay, if this goes down, I have 3 kids in the back.
Oof.
How are we getting out?
Yeah.
Or are we all just going together?
That's the worst if you're in a car, too.
Did you graduate from Rigetti in 93?
96, actually.
Oh, okay. I'm in that yearbook.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's the year I graduated.
Well, yeah, so I was going to ask you, like, if you were even remember. So I was trying to figure out how I know you, and I know you know my cousin.
Who's your cousin?
Danny McFarland.
Oh, yeah.
He was just on a cruise with me. It was for his 50th birthday.
Your mom is Diana?
My mom's Diana.
Oh, my God, yeah.
Yeah.
So I've been at parties. I used to babysit Tina.
Okay.
Tina's kids.
Yes.
And
Adam and April.
Yeah.
Yeah.
April and Adam.
Yep.
And
Okay.
yeah, I used to babysit them.
Yeah, and okay.
Been at several parties with you guys.
Yeah, exactly. And I know, and I remember, I do remember you from school, but I don't. Yeah, but I remember you have a sister that's closer to my age.
So Kelly graduated in 95.
95. Okay. Yeah. And I remember her as well.
She was a cheerleader.
Okay. Yep. So I remember that.
Kelly.
But I was asking Danny just on the cruise. I'm like, can you remember like what the first connection was? And he says, I think it was Santa Maria Times. Is that how you knew Aunt Tina?
That's who I knew Tina, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so Tina was so I've delivered papers, and Tina was my advisor, whatever you called it. Mm-hmm. But I delivered papers for I started when I was like 11.
Yeah.
And like 4 years.
Yeah, we started pretty young too, because my mom and Aunt Tina both worked there.
Yeah. So I did that forever.
Okay.
And then
we used to do crewing.
And
we'd go around and try to get...
They actually put me in the paper. I was the advertisement.
Oh,
I have a picture of it still. I was the advertisement that they had to get more people to deliver papers.
Okay.
They had some ad, and it was a picture of me, and it was, this girl makes more money than half the world, because we made more money than like people all in Africa and people all
really?
All these other countries they had done. Yeah, it was crazy. And so anyway.
What would be the point of that? Like to tell people, hey,
hey, this is a great job. You could make a lot of money doing it.
If you live in Ethiopia, come on over to America and be a paper carrier.
I don't know. It was an interesting ad. I'll have to send you a picture of it now that I have your phone number. But it's crazy because it was like, and it's a picture of me with my bag on my scooter, because I used to run. I used to do my scooter. And I used to porch every paper.
A scooter?
I did my whole entire paper out on a scooter.
Like with one foot pushing the whole... Really? Because this is before the motorized scooters.
I did all of phase 1 of Sunrise Hills. That was my route.
Oh, wow.
I did the whole thing on a scooter.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah. The only thing was on Saturday mornings, my dad would take us around. But we would run. He would drive the El Camino. He had this old El Camino.
Okay.
He would drive the El Camino, and we would grab 4 or 5 papers, porch them, hop back in. He'd go to the next chunk. We'd grab 4 or 5 papers, porch them.
That's right. Yeah. That's crazy.
Yeah, no, I've known Tina since, geez Louise.
Forever.
Oh, my God. I was 11, so I was born in 75.
Yeah. So you graduated Danny's grade then, right?
Yeah, we were the same year.
93. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Very cool.
Yeah.
You should do a cruise, because that's what I was going to get at. I was scared to death of all this stuff, and it was awesome. It was one of the best 7 days of my life. It was so much fun.
Being trapped on a boat with all those people didn't bother you?
No. Because you don't feel trapped. Like, you see land, you're there, you port like 3 times. We went to, so it was a 7 days. So the first 2 days were at sea. Then we ported and got off in Cabo San Lucas. And then the next day was Mazatlan. And the next day was Puerto Vallarta. And then 2 days back.
Nobody came back sick, right?
No. But none of us were sick. But it was a blast. So much fun. It's like, man, but there was no kids. We didn't bring any of our kids.
Oh, okay.
It was just me and my wife, Danny and his wife, and another couple. And that was it. Just the 6 of us.
Danny's wife's dad and my dad were in Vietnam together.
Danny's wife's... Really? Danny Ormsby?
Mm-hmm.
Really?
And they didn't figure it out till years later.
Interesting.
So they met here.
Okay.
And they figured out they were together there.
Crazy.
I know. It's a small town. It's a small world, really.
And you used to live up in Seattle, which is where he's close to now. He's in Washington, but not in Seattle. I lived there for 21 years, yeah. In Seattle. So did you head there like right after high school or something?
I moved, so graduated in June, turned 18 September 2nd. I moved September 3rd.
Okay. Why?
Because my mom told me I had to be... because I had an aunt and uncle up there, and I wanted to get out of Santa Maria.
Okay. You must have liked it if you stayed up there that long.
I liked it. I met my first husband there. I had my kids there.
Okay.
That stuff. And then, I lived there. And when my dad got sick, I moved back home here. So. Mm-hmm.
And your dad is well known too, right?
Yeah.
I knew him somehow.
My dad, he was a garage store man. He worked for he worked for Williams Brothers for like 20 years. Okay. And then he left that and was a garage door man. So there's 2 Southwick families in town. There's Steve and there's my dad, Phil.
Okay.
We're not Steve's side of the family.
Okay, and how do I know Steve? Because the name sounds familiar. Oh, he's a radio guy. Steve was on the radio
for a long time. Steve owns the Pioneer.
Oh, that's what it is.
Yeah.
Okay. So he's not related to you at all.
We're not related at all. Okay. My dad and him figured out maybe like 200 years ago they may have been related, but the family system's not. But yeah, their kids are all redheads. We all look alike. I get mistaken for his daughter all the time. His daughter gets mistaken for me all the time. Okay. It's crazy. But yeah.
And there was a Southwick that was a librarian at my elementary school.
Yeah, not our family. That was your family. That was his wife.
That's his wife.
I think that was his wife.
Okay.
I think.
Okay. Interesting.
Yeah. Yeah,
there's got to be a relation. Same last name, red hair, all that.
Long ago, I think.
Got to be connected somehow.
Yeah. I mean, hey, if both parents have red hair, you're going to have redheads. So.
That's true. Or
both parents have the gene or whatever.
But they say it's like 5% of the population or something. It's pretty low.
It's recessive. Yeah. Okay. So it's low. Yeah, it's 2% of the population.
Oh, it's only 2%. Mm-hmm. Wow. It makes you feel special though, right? I mean,
Yeah, I hated it growing up.
Really?
I don't mind it now. I wish I would have been able to embrace it as a kid. Maybe I wouldn't have let all the teasing bother me.
Yeah. Oh, you got teased for being a redhead? What they call
being
it?
Being a redhead named April was terrible because I got teased for my name and I got teased for my hair color.
What's wrong with April?
Oh, it's a month, Oh, it's May now.
Yeah.
Stupid jokes like that. People are dumb. A couple people have called me October North Candle. I was like, because it was April Southwick, and I was like, oh, you're clever.
Oh, yeah. I wouldn't have thought of something like that. I wasn't smart enough.
Kids are not very nice. They're dumb. Yeah.
And are your kids all redheads?
I don't have any redheads. My ex-husband was not a redhead. Their dad is not a redhead.
And they didn't get any?
No redheads. My sister has 2, but I don't have.
Oh, really?
Yeah, my youngest sister has 2 redheads, but I don't have any.
And is her husband a redhead?
He has a red beard.
Okay.
Their dad, yeah.
Okay.
He had a red beard.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Okay. Very cool.
Yeah.
Awesome. All right. So there's the way I start. I'm going to ask you 3 fast questions that are going to be quick answers, and I'll let you flesh them out as we go through. One's going to be about music, and then politics and spirituality. So the first one is, if you had to pick only one genre of music, what would it be as your favorite? Country. Okay. Mm-hmm. Country. Most people don't say that. I have had a lot of country people on here that love country. Politically, do you lean more left or right?
Right.
Okay. I kind of guessed that based on your Facebook stuff.
But. Yeah.
In one word, describe your spiritual beliefs.
I'm a believer.
A believer. Mm-hmm. Okay. Like it.
But I dislike organized religion.
Hey, me too. Yeah, we're going to say eye to eye on that for sure. Mm-hmm. Okay, cool. I like to jump into music first because it's not as controversial.
Right.
Usually. I did have a guy in here once where we got into a really big, discussion about Weezer. And how he thinks only Weezer's first album was the only good one and the rest of it sucks. I'm like, dude, what are you talking about? But anyway.
Well, I have some strong opinions about music and about certain artists and about artists need to stay in their own lane. But
okay. We can talk about that. Taylor Swift maybe or
Pink, Eminem, those guys. Like Pink saying, "Oh, if you don't agree with me, don't listen to my music."
Yeah.
So, done. It's really a shame too because you're a fabulous artist.
She is very talented.
But you know what? You want me to not listen to your music because I don't agree with you, or because you don't agree with me?
Yeah.
Done.
Agree with politically?
Yeah.
Yeah. See,
she came out and said that, and then all the BS with the COVID shot and all that stuff. I'm like, you know what? Done.
Yeah.
You're very talented, but you don't want me to listen to you?
Yeah.
I'll take your advice.
Do you think that's sad that it's become that way, like with music and even like actors and stuff, and people say, well, I'm not going to watch so-and-so's movie because he's this, or, you know. Those
guys, when you're in entertainment and when you're somebody who is in that genre, music, entertainment, whatever, you need to realize your place and you need to stay in your lane.
Okay.
I mean, politics are not your you know, if you want to be a Ronald Reagan and be an actor and then go into politics, fine.
Right.
Fine.
Right.
You know, we know we can follow that. But when you're in entertainment, you know, it's a lot of us have those kind of jobs. We're in our field and we need to stay in our lane.
So they shouldn't be using it as like a platform.
It should not be a platform.
Like a Sean Penn or Robert De Niro.
And you have to know that if you use that as a platform, you know, everybody's entitled to their own free speech.
Yeah, of course.
But if you use that as a platform, you potentially have the ability to alienate 50% of your base. And if you tell people not to listen to your music if they don't agree with you, then when your music is not listened to and your ratings fall,
that's on you.
Guess what?
Yeah.
Nobody did that to you but you.
That's such a stupid thing to say, too.
It's so dumb.
I mean, I would never say that.
You know, it's like my guilty pleasure for a long time was listening to Eminem when I worked out.
Okay.
Like, his music is sometimes graphic and horrible.
Yes.
But I really enjoyed, like, there was something about it would get me going. Dr. Dre, Eminem, Snoop Dogg, all that genre of music, right? When I work out. I grew up in the 90s.
Yeah.
But when he started his garbage with some of that stuff, I was like, you know what, dude, I'm sorry, I can't do it.
When was that for you? Was that when he did the parking garage rap, when he was talking about Trump and all that stuff? And,
it was recent. Okay. I mean, it's probably been the last year. I haven't really listened to him. I'm like, you know what, we all can have different opinions on things. We all can like different things. We all can, but don't destroy what you've done for the sake of an opinion. Right. Why would you do that?
Yeah, that's what I don't understand. Because no matter what position you hold, if you're in entertainment, as soon as you are so graphically talking about it like that, you're going to split your audience right down the middle. Yeah. Right. Like you're going to. Like, let's say you came out and you said, you know, I don't know. I always said if I was a CEO and somebody was asking me about things like LGBTQ or about, you know, gun rights or like any of these hot topic issues, abortion, like some of these things, I'm like, I'm pleading the fifth on that, because as soon as I say, oh, I'm pro-life or oh, I'm pro-choice, now half of the country is going to not buy my product. And if I say the other one, then the other half of the country is not going to buy my product. I'm like, no, I just make wallets, man. That's all I do. Yeah. Don't ask me that kind of stuff.
Well, you know, I deal with that a lot in my job because I work with people who are medically fragile in some cases. They've got neurological conditions. And when somebody asks me my opinion, I have to say to them, I will give you my opinion, but you have to know that that's my opinion. That may not be the opinion I take in my job.
Sure.
But if you want my opinion, I will happily give it to you, but you have to be prepared for that.
Yeah. And does your work ever get on you about that though? Like,
well, I own the company. I run the company. It's all me.
Okay.
But I try and appeal to everyone. I don't ever want to turn anyone away. I don't ever want to upset anyone. I don't ever want somebody to go, oh, she's a great coach, but she's a horrible person. Yeah. I don't want anybody to ever say that about me.
Sure.
And so I get a lot of people saying, what's your opinion? Well, you know, I mean, I'm sure we'll get into some of it when we talk about politics.
I hope so.
But, you know, some of my opinion is controversial.
Okay. Yeah.
But it's not for lack of research on my part or lack of caring about people.
Yes.
But some people view it that way. And so when some of these artists, you know, do this stuff, it's like, you guys are shooting yourselves in the foot. I want to like you. I love your music. I think you're talented. There's so many talented people in the world, but then, you know. Yeah. So, you know, I have my stuff I listen to, and I just thumbs down those on Pandora that I don't want to listen to anymore.
So besides Pink, what other ones are on there like that? And Eminem. You said. Okay.
You know, it's funny. Because of the classes I teach, I listen to a lot of oldies. You know, and so I don't even really, unless I'm working out. Yeah. I don't. And
oldies like 50s, 60s?
Like 50s,
stuff?
60s, 70s. Okay. Well, you know what, Ryan? The 80s are oldies.
I know. That's why I had to ask.
I will put on 80s music, and everybody, you know, we like
it. Retro.
I know. I even put on. So most of my clients are, you know, older. You know, 70 to 90s. But I have a couple that are close to my age. I've got a guy who's 48, and I've got a girl who's 39, and you know. a couple in their 50s. But the other day, yesterday, 2 days ago, I put on 90s classics.
Oh, wow.
And it was so fun. And I'm thinking, this is like one of the, Montel Jordan, This Is How We Do It came on, right? And I'm like, oh my God, this takes me right back to when I was 17. Yep. Literally, I was 17 again, standing there in that room with all these old people. And they were all singing it along too. And I was like, oh my gosh, you guys, this is literally high school for me. Yeah. Literally high school. Yeah. Like 1992 when this came out, I was 17 and I was a senior in high school. Right. And it's like, I can smell the air of that. But I was thinking like, that was 33 years ago.
It doesn't seem like it though, does it?
When did we get old?
Yeah, I don't know what happened. I know when I was younger, they'd always say that, right? The older you get, the faster time goes.
Oh yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, whatever. And now I'm like,
the days go slow, the years go fast.
It's gnarly. Right? Like I cannot believe how fast. Like my 30-year anniversary is coming. Reunion's coming up for Rigetti. I'm like, 30. It was 30 years ago. I graduated from Rigetti. Really?
I know.
30 years.
Well, I'll tell you. I turned 50 this year.
Yeah.
And I, on one hand, am like, oh my God, I'm 50. You know, 50 seems so far away for such a long time. Right. On the other hand, I'm like, I have literally never felt better. Like, I am so happy to be 50.
Nice.
Like, it didn't upset me. I thought it was great. Yeah. Like,
you didn't have like a party with like a coffin cake and
I went away with my girlfriends and I went up to the Madonna Inn and
there you go
for the night.
Okay,
but,
so you had a champagne cake or whatever.
I can't. You know, like those? I have a gluten issue, so I can't eat. Yeah. Okay. But no, we had a great time. We spent the day by the pool. We had a few drinks. You know, I'm not a big drinker, but we had a few drinks because we weren't driving anywhere. We went and had our steak dinners and we went back to the room and crashed. You know, it was fun, but. Yeah, so that was way sidetracked.
That's right. We do that a lot on here. We just go wherever it goes. I love it.
Yeah. So, you know, when I gave up some of these artists or whatever, I started listening to... So I'm a huge country fan, like I just told you. Yeah. Like Reba and George Strait. And those,
so, again, some of 90s.
My all-time,
country,
yeah, all-time favorites.
Nice.
I started listening to country hip-hop.
Country hip-hop?
Like Hick-Hop, they call it.
Hick-Hop.
Hick-Hop.
Okay.
So, and like country rap, if you will. Okay. So, Cowboy Troy.
Okay, I was just going to say, that's the only one I know.
Well, so there's several others. So I met Cowboy Troy a few years ago and started listening to his music. And he's great. I love him. Okay. He's a great person, too. We became friends, and he's a great person.
I have to tell you real quick how I came across that, because I would have never came across that in a million years. But I work at the library. Okay. And I was going through, they gave me a project to go through the whole CD collection there and kind of relabel stuff and go through stuff, make sure the genres are proper and correct and everything. So I got all the stuff's pretty standard, right? It's rock, it's country, it's hip hop, it's like all this. And then I get to this guy.
And what do you do with him?
Right.
Where do you put Cowboy Troy?
Cowboy Troy. And he's like wearing a cowboy hat on the front. I'm like, what the heck is this? So I have to pop it in, and I'm going...
He's not country. He's not hip hop. Right?
It's kind of like it's like southern. It was weird.
Hick-Hop.
Yeah, Hick-Hop. I've never heard that term before.
He's always been with Big and Rich.
Okay.
Right.
I love
Big and Rich. Oh yeah. So I write. What was their first song? I Play Chicken with the Train. Yeah. That was Big and Rich and Cowboy Troy. Okay. And so he's on a lot of their songs. So but now they have this whole hip hop. The Lax. Colton Ford, Brantley Gilbert's kind of fringe on there. Okay. There's
you put like guys like Jelly Roll in there.
I wouldn't put Jelly Roll in that group.
Okay.
No, not at all. Okay. But if you turn on Pandora, if you're or Spotify or whatever, I use Pandora mostly because it's just easy. But if you put in like the Lax Radio, and it's LACS, the Lax Radio, or Cowboy Troy Radio or whatever, you get all these really fun, like almost like, but they're all kind of really pro-American, really like some really interesting. It's a really interesting genre of music, and it's got a lot of it's got that same kind of like beat and motivation that some of the 90s hip hop and the Eminems and those kind of have. So that's been my new workout stuff. So if I'm not listening to a podcast, this morning I listened to a couple podcasts when I worked out, but if I'm not listening to podcasts, I'm listening to that because it really is one of those things you can turn it on. You don't have to listen to it, the words. Right. It's just in your head. And
background,
and the beat is just good when you're lifting weights and whatever else. So it's kind of a new something for you to listen to.
So would you say that those like the Hick-Hop stuff is like pretty unknown to most people?
It's so funny because actually one of my one of my fighters several years ago was like, oh, you have to listen to this group called the Lax. Mm-hmm. And I was like, huh? And so during COVID, I took my exercise classes online. And when I was bringing them back, I was like, I don't want to give up the online portion because there's people who don't drive. There's a whole market for this, right? Yeah. But I also want to be able to do it in person, so maybe I can figure out a way to teach a class in live and online at the same time. So this buddy, he's a friend of mine now, but he's been in my class for like 8 years.
Oh, okay.
And he came into class one day and he was sort of my guinea pig. So it was just always him and I in the room, right? He would be in the room and I'd keep an eye on him and I'd watch everybody online and I was figuring out how to make this work. He came in one day and he goes, we need to listen to the Lax today. I'm like, the Lax? What the heck is that?
Yeah, I would think LAX when he said that.
No, LACS. And so I was like, okay. So we turn it on and we listen to it. And I'm like, I kind of like this, Patrick. Like, Where did you come up with this? He goes, literally, it just came across my feed somehow.
Oh, nice.
And he goes, I fell on it. And I was like, I like this. Yeah. So now, about once every 2 weeks, he'll turn on the Lax radio or Cowboy Troy radio or American something. I'm trying to remember the name of the other one that we really like. It's American something. Anyway.
But the Lax is a group, or that's a radio station?
No, the Lax is a group. Okay. And they have great music.
Okay. And it's Hick-Hop, what you call it.
It's like this Hick-Hop. It's this country rap. It's this country. Yeah. It's totally, I think it's like a hidden genre. I think they do, obviously they have a population that loves them. Yeah. Right? I've never seen them in concert, but I don't look.
Where are they from, do you know? No idea.
I would guess Tennessee, but I have no idea. Yeah, I have no
Everybody
idea.
has an album out.
I mean, we could Google it really quick. I've never really looked into them. Just that I really, really like to listen to their music.
And they're still current. They're still putting new stuff out and all that.
Yeah, and there's more and more bands. Like, there was a couple bands that came on. We played it the other day. There was a couple bands that came on, and I was like, are they a new one? And Patrick's in my class still. And he was like, I think so. I haven't heard of them, Wow. And so it's just it's most people you're probably like, this woman's crazy.
Yeah.
Like, where does she
when I heard the Cowboy Troy, I was definitely intrigued. I was like, I've never really heard this before. Yeah. Like, I've heard some of the Southern rap will throw in some country elements and stuff, but nothing like that. Yeah. So, I mean, he has his
own sound. He has his own,
Yeah, it's very cool. Yeah. When you visit the country rap or whatever, of course, the big one is that, I don't know if you can count this, is that Lil Nas X or whatever. With Billy Ray Cyrus. Was it Old Town Road or whatever?
Yeah, Old Town Road.
Yeah. Do you like that song? Or?
And I like that song. Okay. And the giddy one, the giddy up. Song,
oh, yeah.
Whatever that song is, too. I forget which one it is, but... Okay. Yes, I love all that kind of stuff. Any kind of kitschy kind of song like that. Yeah. Like... Sign me up. Yeah. I think that's fun. Okay. It's so funny. People in my class are always like, you need to, what is this song? And I'm like, it's fun. What are you talking about? There's a dance to it. Let's learn the dance. Like, I love that kind of stuff. Yeah. It's like goes back to the days of like Boot Scoot Boogie. Bring it on. Yeah. I love that stuff.
So you like the kind of...
Oh, yeah.
You said kitschy, which probably like... what's that song by Garth Brooks? The one I don't like it. Oh, everybody loves it.
I've got friends in love with it.
Yeah, that one.
Oh, yeah. Bring it on.
See, those are kind of ones.
Oh, we could talk about Garth Brooks. There's all kinds of controversies about him.
Oh, yeah?
Have you not heard?
No.
Oh.
Well, I don't know.
His
recent stuff?
His alter ego.
Oh, Chris Gaines or whatever?
Chris Gaines. Yeah. They're talking about like murders that happen in cities where he's doing concerts, and it's like
he's a serial killer on the side, huh?
Chris Gaines, his alter ego is I'm like, okay, you guys, we're really stretching it here. Yeah. Who doesn't love a good conspiracy theory? Right. Yeah. Whether it's true or not.
Well, see, like there's a lot of Garth Brooks songs I do like.
I love Garth Brooks. I
just I don't like. See, okay, so for me, country. I go like way back. I love way back country. I love Hank Williams Sr. And Johnny Cash and
Johnny Cash.
Merle Haggard, some of that kind of stuff.
Love Johnny Cash.
I don't really.
Loretta Lynn. Yeah, Crystal Gale.
Yes, all that stuff. Yeah. What's the one? I'm trying to think. The girl, Patsy Cline.
Oh, Patsy Cline.
She counts, right?
Yeah, she counts.
There's been a few, but. That's the kind of stuff where it just sounds like a guy like on his porch with a banjo just singing. I love that.
Me too.
And when you get into kind of the 90s with all the Garth Brooks and the Clint Black and all that kind of stuff, there's like select songs.
Oh, Clint Black is great. Yeah. I went to one of his concerts one time and they were like confiscating cameras and phones at the door because he did not let you take pictures. And I was like, that's dumb.
Those days are long gone.
I know.
Could you imagine somebody trying to do that now at a concert? Confiscate everybody's phone.
And he was at a fair. I'm like,
Oh, really?
Yeah. When I lived up in Washington, he was at the Pugh Outlet Fair. And I was like, are you kidding me right now?
Yeah.
We can't have we can't take a picture? Like, you're performing at probably the lowest end of a venue.
Right.
You know, considering I know you've sold out stadiums and stadiums, right? Yeah. There's probably 2,000 people here, and you're telling me I can't take a picture?
Yeah. Wow.
So annoyed.
That's so funny.
Yeah.
My other cousins lived in Puyallup.
Oh, really?
Yeah. She lives in Vegas now, but she was living in Puyallup for a while.
Oh, yeah. I didn't live in Puyallup, but I lived about an hour north of there. But
Did you live in Seattle?
I lived on the east side of Seattle and then north of Seattle.
Okay.
Yeah.
But still technically Seattle.
It was the Seattle greater Seattle area. Okay. Yeah, I lived on the east side, which is Redmond, Kirkland, Bellevue. I lived in all three of those cities actually at various points. And then when we bought a house, we bought in Mill Creek, which was just 20, 30 minutes north of Seattle. So, yeah.
I like it up there.
Yeah, it's beautiful, but I don't think I'd ever go back.
No? Mm-mm. Because of the weather, because of politics, because of Traffic.
Just keep going.
Okay. Yeah. All the reasons. Too much rain.
Well, I didn't hate the rain. Yeah. I didn't hate the rain. Okay. I lived there for 21 years, and about year 18, I was like, okay, February can stick it where the sun don't shine. And it already, it was a long time. It didn't really bother me, but it did after about year 18. I was like, God, can it just rain a different month of the year, not all of February? Right. And I think it was more of frustration with other stuff in my life maybe at that point. But I didn't hate living there when I lived there, but it's not a place I'd go back to. Yeah.
And so you mentioned a few times teaching. Do you teach kids? Do you teach, what do you...
Oh, so actually I'm a coach.
You're a coach.
So,
okay.
I have a program called Neuro-Fighters. Okay. And it's a non-contact boxing and functional exercise program for people living with neurological conditions.
Really?
So things like Parkinson's, stroke, MS, Huntington's, I've had some random conditions like white matter disease, hydrocephalus, that kind of stuff. And those I take on a case-by-case basis. Yeah. But most of my, probably 80% of my people have Parkinson's.
Okay.
And it started about almost 10 years ago now with a guy who, and of course
Yeah. You're good.
Yeah. With a guy who... He had Parkinson's, and his wife found me and said, help me. And I said, okay, I don't know anything about Parkinson's, and I've taken a few boxing classes, but let me figure it out, right?
Why would she come to you for that if you didn't have any experience?
Because I was local. I was a trainer. I worked with seniors.
Oh, okay.
That was kind of my part-time gig. When my dad died, I took over his garage door business, and I was doing that full-time. But I was training people on the side because I thought, well, if I suck at this garage door thing as a girl, at least I'll have something to fall back on. I can train people.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't suck at garage doors.
Okay.
And I really liked the training, so I was like, maybe I can do both.
Okay.
Yeah. And so...
and that kick-started the whole thing, that one lady coming to you.
That one lady asking me to help her husband.
Wow.
So I helped him get started. I noticed he immediately felt better. Almost immediately, stuff started changing. With Parkinson's, you lose the ability to walk and swing your arms and move around, and it just robs you of your movement, and among other things. Yeah. And he got better within 3 months. Wow. And so over the course of that time, to make a long story short, I got some training, and I went and talked to people who were teaching these kind of classes down in LA, because LA was the closest class to us. Took him down a few times. I watched a ton of videos, did a ton of research, got on the waiting list to be trained at Rock City Boxing because, Leslie Stahl had done a 60 Minutes piece, and it blew up like gangbusters, and everybody wanted to do this now. Yeah. And so the waiting list was 18 months. I managed to get in earlier than that. They had a cancellation, and I was able to sneak my way in and get trained. But it took me a good year to get some training under my belt, to work with him, to find a location, to do all that stuff. And then that was 10 years ago. I started working with him almost. In April will be 10 years. Okay. And then about 9 years was when I started my class. So it's sort of grown from just Parkinson's, and then I was like, okay, well, there's other things out there that need help, and exercise will benefit them as well. Okay. So now I handle help people with strokes. I've got a brother-sister team with Huntington's. Yeah. I've got a lady with a spinal cord injury that she just called me and was like, please, will you help me? Nobody else. I can't get a physical therapist to help me. I can't get anybody to help me. And I was like, you know what? Come in. Let's meet. I'll talk to you.
So so is this something people were doing already? Like you had heard of people using this kind of a therapy to...
Rock City Boxing had been around for 10 years by the time I was trained.
And this is what they do. Same thing you do.
Yes. So Rock City Boxing handles people with Parkinson's only. They do group class. It's group classes and it's Parkinson's only. So that had been out there for like 10 years, but it wasn't very well known. It was kind of like you had to know somebody who had Parkinson's, who might be in a class, who might be in, and they're based out of Indiana. They have a great story of how they started. But until Leslie Stahl did a 60 Minutes piece on it, because her husband had Parkinson's and was happened to be in a Rock Steady boxing class, you didn't hear about it. It wasn't a mainstream thing.
Right.
So...
Is she local? Her name sounds familiar to me.
She was on 60 Minutes. She's a news reporter, Leslie Stahl.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So she's like famous.
She's famous.
Okay,
yeah,
gotcha. I was like, why does she sound familiar?
Yeah, she's famous. She was on the news forever, and then she was on 60 Minutes, I think, until she retired. Okay. But since then, there's other organizations that have come out. So I do things. So I've got lots of training to help me with this job. You know, I'm certified in a lot of different neurological things, a lot of different Parkinson's things. I've got boxing certifications, I've got fitness certifications, I've got nutrition, I've got lots of things, right? So I run my program a little differently than a lot of other people do. Okay. Which, not to say anything is wrong or anything is right. Sure. There's so many amazing people out there that are running programs like mine, and we all do things a little bit differently. Mm-hmm. So there's lots and lots of options for people out there, right? Mine's a nonprofit. I take care of my caregivers. I do caregiver classes. I offer life coaching. I don't personally do the life coaching. That's outside. You know how we were talking about staying in your own lane? Right. That's not my lane. Okay. That's the lane next to me. I have some amazing women who do that for me.
Do you hope it will be your lane
Actually, someday? The lady who found me, no. Okay. The lady who... yeah, we're not going to go there, Ryan. The lady who found me to help her husband is actually my life coach. Okay. She's the lady her and her partner, whose name is also April, Lisa and April, they are my life coach people.
Oh, nice.
So she's come full circle. You know, her husband passed away actually 5 years ago today. Oh, wow. Yeah. Oh, wow. So, tough one.
Yeah. What are the odds on that? The date. Right. Wowzers.
Yeah. So she has stayed with me the whole time, even after he passed. She's still one of my volunteers. She took his training spot. It was like I train her. Nice. She does all my life coaching. I hire them to do all my life coaching. So it's good. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Wow. That's a very unique profession. Like, I didn't even know that was something that existed at all.
Why would you?
Right. Yeah, well, true. You think you'd hear like that kind of... you hear about things like physical therapy and every other kind of therapy for people with mental
You don't hear about exercise therapy because insurance doesn't cover it. Mm. And unless you need it or need to know about it, you're not gonna... Yeah. There's no reason for you to know about it. Right. So, thankfully, I've been doing this so long, and I've, spoken a lot of places. I've been on radio shows. I speak at any place anybody will let me talk, I talk, right? Yeah. Rotaries and women's groups, and I've spoken at Marion, and I actually have a partnership with Marion Hospital, and my classes are at their wellness center.
Oh, nice.
So that has been really helpful. Mm-hmm. But unless I've got in with the doctors will refer people in. I've had a couple doctors that are like, I need this person to be in your class. I'm actually going to write them a prescription. So when they come your way, make sure that you, understand that they need to be in your class. I've got good relationships with a lot of the doctors in the areas. And so, but it's been a long time, and it's been a lot of work to build it up, and, it's a nonprofit world. Right. We do it because we love it, not because we want to be rich or we want to make any money at anything. Yeah. But
and you love it because you're helping people.
Well, right? Too bad this isn't a visual thing, because I could show you the video that a lady that on Friday actually, she's been in a wheelchair. Her husband wheels her in a wheelchair, and she's been in class, 2 months or so. She only comes one day a week, so it's a little harder for us to get quicker progress. Right. She's maybe been there 2-3 months. But on Friday, he walked her in.
Wow.
He put her on the walker and he walked her in.
And do you just lose your mind when you see something like that?
The whole class cheered.
I bet. What an amazing thing to witness.
Yeah.
Wow.
And, we're working with her once a week, and then I gave them this very specific walker. that I had in my studio. And I was like, this is the walker I want you to use with her every single day. Because she couldn't stand up straight. She couldn't get her hips forward. Her knees were constantly bent because all she did was sit in a wheelchair, right? So I said, I really want you to use this walker because it's going to force her to stand up because her hands are higher. And he was like, okay. He was totally on board with anything
Good.
And so he's been walking her every day, a couple times a day on this walker. And she walked in with it on Friday.
Wow.
So between, what we're doing and what he's willing to do at home, which she's very blessed to have a caregiver like him because not everybody does, right?
Some spouses are like, I'm not even going to deal with that. You go to the doctor and you just leave me alone.
I could tell you some stories.
Yeah, I bet.
Spouses leaving their spouses, all kinds of stuff. Yeah, there's some really sad.
Like, this is not what I'm married into. Yeah, right. Sign up. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's just there's some really sad stories out there. But yeah, it's amazing. I've got another guy who rolled in a wheelchair with those zippy chairs. That has the little electronics. Yeah. And I was like, "So you ready to work out?" He's like, "I think I'm going to watch." I'm like, "That's not how we do the things here." I'm like,
no bystanders.
I'm like, you're just trying out a class. It's not. We're not. I mean, I guess you can watch it if you really want to, but I'd really like you to do it. You're here. Let's at least get you moving.
Yeah.
And he's like, well, I can't get out of my chair. And I'm like, okay, well, first off, we don't say can't, we don't say don't, and we won't say I'm not. I'm not this or whatever.
Right.
And he was like, looked at me and gave me kind of a dirty look. I was like, okay, we're gonna put you in the center of the room where everybody can see you, and we're gonna make you work out.
Oh boy!
And so I got him out of his wheelchair.
Was he mad about it?
No, he was a pretty good sport. I don't think he was real happy with me on the first day.
Yeah.
But his daughter was there and his wife, and I got him out of his chair. I put him in a regular chair, and I had him do some exercises. I got him up standing. I sat him back down a couple times. I said, okay. I said, that was a Monday. I think she brought him in. I said, I'll see you on Wednesday. Classes Monday, Wednesday, Friday.
Yeah.
I said, I'll see you on Wednesday. And he's like, I don't know if I'm coming back here. And I said, you're coming back here. Well, I saw him Wednesday.
Nice.
I saw him Friday. I saw him Monday again.
That's awesome.
He's in 3 months, he's missed one day, and it was the day that it poured buckets last week when it rained. Oh, yeah. And he walks in now.
Oh, boy. That's gnarly.
He does not. His wife doesn't even bring the wheelchair. They used to bring it on the back of the car. It was sitting on the back of the car as just in case. Yeah. She doesn't even bring it anymore.
Okay. That's so cool.
Yeah. I mean, what I do is not lost on me, and I am so happy that these people are willing to put in the effort to make their life better. Yeah. Like, everybody's like, oh, it's you. It's not me. Like, I might give them the exercises and I might tell them what to do, but if they didn't do it, the rewards wouldn't be there. Neither would the success, right?
Sure.
So yes, while it is my program and I've got all the knowledge and I coach them on what to do, they have to do it.
Yeah.
And they have to put the effort. And the harder they work, the better they're going to be. So really, when somebody says that to me, I'm like, yeah, but you have to understand that the real heroes are these people that are living with these conditions, that are doing all this hard work. They're the heroes. If it wasn't for them, I wouldn't have a job.
Are
If it wasn't for their success, I wouldn't have a good program, right? Because you can have a program, but if nobody's doing good, people are going to be like, oh yeah, she's dumb. She's not, don't go to her class.
She's a quack.
Yeah. Nobody comes out of there very good.
Right.
Like, they're all still in the same, I've had a lot of loss over the years, especially during COVID.
Sure.
I've had a lot of loss.
Sure.
And I've only probably got, I would say, 5 or 6 people of my original class when I started in 17.
Okay.
I actually have one lady that was in my second class. She's still with me.
So you have 5 or 6 people that started 10 years ago and they're still there?
Yeah, 8 years ago.
Wow.
8 to 9 years ago, yeah. Okay. Cynthia will be in my class for 9 years come this April. Yeah. And she's doing amazing.
Yeah.
Her progression is not at all what it could be.
Okay.
It's not at all. Does she have progression? Yes.
Yeah.
But would it be 10 times worse if she hadn't been exercising? Absolutely.
Yeah. Do you ever see, is there ever, obviously there's always a hope, but do you see, based on what you know and what you're dealing with all the time, someone ever being able to completely come out of that, like to be
there's no cure,
cured and healed from?
Yeah, there's no cure for Parkinson's.
Okay.
All these neurological conditions, there's no cure for.
So these are just ways.
These are progressive.
Okay.
Non-curable.
Yeah.
Neurodegenerative diseases. So people are going to progress. However, that being said, I have seen tremors go away. I've seen people be able to swing their arms again. I've seen people be able to smile. You know, you get sort of this Parkinson's mask and your muscles sort of, where you show no emotion, your muscles sort of atrophy or get rigid. And people, some of that goes away because they're exercising, because life's different. People, I had one lady, so loss of smell is a big deal with Parkinson's, and usually that's a precursor. Now with COVID and all this, it's sort of one of those things where you can't really rely on it as much as you used to. But
that's always been a symptom of Parkinson's?
Always been an early onset. So I have people that will tell me, oh, I lost my sense of smell 20 years ago. I didn't know that was Parkinson's. Until they got diagnosed with Parkinson's and somebody told them, right? So they could have started doing stuff when they realized that could have been a Parkinson's symptoms, right? So
the earlier you catch it, the better, you think?
The earlier you catch it, the better. The earlier you catch it and the earlier you start exercising, the better you're going to be. The better your outcome is.
Right.
Well, I had a lady, she was diagnosed at 34, and she had lost her sense of smell by that time, right? So she was, number one, she was young onset. That's very young, right?
Yeah.
And she had her loss of, so she was probably even earlier than that, she should have been diagnosed. Well, she had been in my class for a while. She's moved away now, but she'd been in my class for a while, and she came in one day and she goes, I smelled coffee and bacon this morning.
Wow.
And that's the first time I'd ever heard that. Somebody getting their sense of smell back.
That's so cool.
And I was like, what? And she goes, I know. It was fleeting and it was brief. She goes, but I smelled it.
And there was coffee and bacon near her. She wasn't just smelling it when it wasn't there.
No, her husband was making coffee and bacon.
Wow.
And I was like, no way.
That's awesome.
You know? No way.
Yeah. And that's a big one.
That's a huge one.
Because that's like your sense of smell goes right with your taste.
Yes.
If you have no sense of smell, you're not enjoying your food as much as you could be.
So could you imagine, well, you know, we're close to the same age.
Yeah.
But 20 years ago, losing your sense of taste and not having taste for that long?
That would suck.
And then potentially the rest of your life?
Yeah. I'd probably lose weight.
I mean, maybe we all would.
That'd be a nice byproduct, I guess. But,
but you know, it wouldn't be the right kind of weight you were losing, right?
No,
you'd probably lose muscle. You'd lose, you might be, you know, that is another problem with people with Parkinson's. A lot of them lose weight and can't gain it back.
Yeah.
So it's really interesting. I never thought I would be sitting here with a job like this. You know, when I graduated high school, I had no direction. I didn't know what I wanted to do. I didn't know where I was going to go with stuff.
Yeah.
I really wasn't a school person. I didn't love school.
Right.
I had tried community college and just wasn't my gig. And so I was like, I'm just going to work. I'm just going to try and get my way into corporate America. Well, so I worked a lot of different jobs and customer service, and I did collections, which I was really good at, by the way.
Oh, yeah?
Probably because I'm mean. But, or I would just tell people, you owe the money.
Yeah.
Like, that's all there is to it. It's black and white. You know, with that, it's black and white. You either owe it or you don't. You owed it.
Sure.
But I did collections. I did billing management. I did HR stuff. You know, I just did a lot of corporate America, whatever. And then I had kids and stayed home and waitressed.
And that was all in Seattle?
That was all in Seattle, yeah.
Okay.
You know, because when day after I turned 18, I moved to Seattle, and it was like I had to find, you know, I found work and whatever. But so I've had lots of fun jobs. I taught modeling for a while at Barbizon.
Oh, yeah?
Do you remember Barbizon? I taught modeling there for 6 months or so. And
nice.
That was not my gig either.
Didn't like it, huh? Okay.
It was interesting. It was an interesting... it was an interesting side of things.
Is that like magazine shoots and stuff? Or
yeah.
is that like,
I mean, you want to learn how to walk the runway? I can teach you.
Oh no, I don't know that.
We taught that kind of stuff. We taught etiquette. We taught how to sit at a table and what fork goes where and where your cups go and all that stuff.
Oh, wow.
There was a lot of stuff that we taught. We taught makeup tips. We taught how to care for your skin. Like, it was all encompassing, right? Because it was a modeling school.
Yeah.
So, that was really interesting. But if you would have said to me 35, 40 years ago, the best job you're ever going to have your entire life is going to be working with people with Parkinson's and exercising, I would have thought, no way, because I'm literally the laziest person you've ever met. I'm the busiest, laziest person you've ever met.
I wouldn't have guessed that from talking to you.
No, when I was a kid, PE, who wanted to do PE?
Yeah.
I didn't want to work out. I didn't want to do anything extra. I didn't want to walk anywhere. I wanted the front parking spot at the store. Like, seriously.
Yeah.
No, I did not want to do any of that, you know? Now, thankfully, that's not the way it is anymore. But I still have my moments where I'm like, I have to work out.
Right.
You know? But yeah, I mean, I've had great hobbies. I've had all kinds of stuff that I've done over my lifetime. But if you would have told me I would have taken over my dad's garage door business when he died and installed hundreds and hundreds of garage doors and serviced lots of, garage doors, and then I would be coaching people with neurological conditions, I would have said, you are insane.
Right.
You're absolutely insane.
Yeah. Are you doing both of those things right now?
So, no.
Okay.
I mean, I did the garage door thing for 10 years. I still do answer phones occasionally for the guy who bought my dad's business after I sold it. But I don't do any more installs. I don't do any more service. I mean, if my mother calls me, I'll do her door. Right. If my spring breaks, I'm going to replace my spring. Yeah. But I'm not doing it for anybody else.
You do it like for friends and stuff?
No,
family?
Not anymore.
Oh, just, okay.
Nope. Gotcha. I would do it for my mother and I would do it for myself. Okay. I might do it for one of my sisters, but I don't know. Even there, I'm like, we're talking borderline.
Yeah.
Oh so gosh. At the end, so I still have my contract. I have a contractor's license. I'm a garage door contractor. Okay. Legitimately.
Oh, you have to have a contract for that, huh?
You do. You have to have a contractor's license.
Interesting.
Yeah. So I still have my contractor's license, but I've retired it from that at the end of last year. My husband and I bought a small engine repair shop.
Oh, okay.
So we bought that 2 years ago, and it was just too much to run that business with him and, get that up and running and to do my boxing stuff and all the other extracurricular things that I have going on in my life. Yeah. The other boards I'm on and different stuff. Right, so, and I do a lot of community stuff. So
are your kids all adults at this point or?
So my husband and I have yours and mine kind of thing. And together they're ours. Okay. I've got 5 boys. They're 16 to 24.
Oh, so, dang. All boys, huh?
Yeah, 16, 18, 20, 21, and 24.
Okay. And how many are still living with you guys?
3.
3 of them, okay.
The 20-year-old is still there. Okay. The 18-year-old is a senior in high school, so he's obviously still there. Right. And then my 16-year-old is 16, so and he's still there. Okay. So, yeah. Nice. So we have 3 with us still. And the 2 older ones are on their own and have been a long time.
Yeah. All boys, that's gnarly.
Yeah.
we have 2 and 2.
Oh, okay.
So we got 2 girls, 2 boys. Our oldest is actually due in a couple weeks, so we're
nice.
Gonna be grandparents and all that's gonna be fun.
Oh, don't tell my husband that. He wants a grandbaby. So we had dinner with friends last night, and my friend was like, "Oh, my son's gonna have a baby." He's like, "I'm gonna be a grandpa," and my husband was so upset that it wasn't him.
Oh, really?
He wants a grandbaby so bad.
Are you guys close, or any of the older ones married or anything?
Not yet.
Not yet. Okay.
They'll probably be married in the next year or so. So we'll see.
There you go.
So we may have grandkids in the next couple of years, but
your husband's your age.
We're like 5 months apart. Yeah.
Oh, perfect. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, we're like
very
5
cool.
months apart.
But he's from Seattle, like
no.
Oh, he's from here.
That was my first husband.
First husband's in Seattle.
I'm on number 2.
Number 2, gotcha.
Yeah, no, he's Chris is from Long Beach and then moved up here to Tacoma when he was like 14.
Oh, okay.
So yeah.
Okay.
So he's been here since
Did you know him back then?
No, because he went to Rio Grande High.
Okay.
And then I was down here and worked at Evergetty.
Interesting.
So yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, no, we didn't know each other. We met at the gym actually, in 2018, but it was just one of those things like, "Hi, good morning." When you're at the gym at 5:00 in the morning, you're not standing around talking. It's like, "Hi, good morning. Have a great day." You would just
you got stuff to do. You're
casualties, right? Niceties. You know. And anyway, then that gym closed down, and I never saw him again. I guess he said he saw me a couple times around town. I'm like, "Why didn't you ever say hi?" Yeah. He's like, "Oh, I just didn't,
Just waiting for the exact right moment." Yeah.
And then we somehow became friends on Facebook, and he sent me a message in late 2020, early 2021. And, that was all COVID. So we were chatting on the phone quite a bit. And then one day he was like, "Hey, you want to stop by and have some whiskey in my driveway? I would love to see you, but I can't take you out. There's nowhere to go. Everything's closed, right?" So our first date was a whiskey date in his driveway.
That's the most interesting date proposition I've ever heard in my life.
Yeah.
Hey, you want to come over and have some whiskey in my driveway?
Yeah. Well, I mean,
but it works.
You know how when you are dating, you're like, "Hey, let's go meet and have a drink, or let's go have a cup of coffee."
Or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, I was at my mom's house, and I was like, "Well, I'm at my mom's. I have like half an hour before I need to put my kids to bed, so I'll pop by." He lives real close to my mom, so I was like, "I'll pop by."
That's fun.
So he had set up 2 little chairs and a little table and had Had John Rich's whiskey there.
Okay, all right.
Yeah,
and that was a plus for you.
Redneck Riviera.
Like,
yeah,
hey,
I love me some
you're
John
my
Rich.
people.
Yeah, had some Redneck Riviera there, and we had just a little glass of whiskey and talked for an hour. I ended up staying a whole hour
there you go.
instead of a half hour.
Okay,
and that And
how long from that moment until marriage?
2 years and 1 day.
2 years and 1 day. Okay. Nice.
Yeah, we got married exactly 2 years later.
Okay.
It's so funny because I always swore I was never going to get married again. I was married once. I was married a long time.
Yeah.
I didn't want to do it again. And I always said somebody would have to make my life so much better,
right,
that I couldn't live without them, or they had to compliment me times 10,000. I just wasn't going to do it. And I even told him that, look, like I'm not somebody who's going to get married.
Yeah.
Right. When we first started dating, I was like, I am happy to, just be with somebody and have my thing, but I am not somebody who's going to do that.
Yeah.
And after we've been together a while, I was like, oh, this guy really does do everything for me. Like he really does make my life so much better.
Yeah.
And I was like, what now?
You're like, oh.
I'm going to have to eat all those words plus the leather shoe that we're,
Right.
So it was like, okay. So on our 1 year anniversary, I wrote him a letter and I'd given him my mom's wedding ring when she married my dad because I had it.
Oh, crazy.
I inherited it when And I said, fix this ring up. It's my mother and dad's original wedding ring.
Yeah.
It's yours to do with as you please when you feel the time is right.
Okay. So it was your way of telling him.
That's his way of telling him, I'm willing to be open to this.
Okay.
Like, and I was thinking like, okay, well, we'll get engaged. Maybe we can do that for a while and then we'll see how it goes.
Yeah.
Well, he was like, no, if we're getting engaged, we're getting married. I was like, okay. So the rest is sort of, we've been married almost 3 years.
Nice. So you're still kind of like newlyweds?
Yeah, we're still newlyweds.
Yeah.
He likes to joke that we've been married 25 years, and I say all of our marriages together aren't even 25 years, so I can't say that yet.
So when you finally, with your husband, go on a cruise, if you go on a princess cruise, then they have a newlywed game. Kind of thing. They only take 3 couples and the rest of the room just watches.
Oh, fun.
We were crying. We were laughing so hard. We weren't up there. We weren't one of the couples. None of the other 3 couples that I was with was up on the stage. But dude, we were laughing so hard.
That was such a great TV show back in the day.
Oh yeah, it's great. They ask these questions, and then they bring them back in. Oh, what do you think your husband said? Or it's like, and of course it's always way off. It's not even close. And it's just
that
hilarious.
show would not make it to today.
No.
People are too sensitive.
Oh yeah, it'd be misogynist, sexist, racist, every other kind of...
The topics would just not even be okay. Right. Everybody'd be like, oh my God, they hurt my feelings by what they said.
Yeah. Totally.
Yeah, but it was a fun show back in those days.
So my wife went to AG.
Oh, she did?
Yeah, so I'll have to ask her if she knows.
When did she graduate?
She graduated...
He was 93.
Okay, so they would have missed each other by 1 year then.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because if my wife went to high school with me, which she didn't...
She may know his sisters.
Grade.
His sisters were young. He has 2 younger sisters that were there.
I'll have to ask her.
So, yeah.
Chirp out.
Yeah.
Do you know what's their names?
Leslie and Megan.
Huckabey. Okay.
Same last name.
Okay. I'll have to ask her.
Yeah, you'll have to ask her because it's so funny. When we got married, I had this... We had this venue and we had it for like 4 days and that's how they did things. And so we're like, well, we've paid a fortune for this venue. Let's have a party the night before, instead of just we'll do the rehearsal. And then we'll have a party and we'll invite everybody that flew in for our wedding, and we'll do, we have this taco guy we love. So he comes and he did tacos and I had gotten a music artist, right? Okay. The guy cancels on me 10 days before the wedding. Man. I was like, not cool, bro.
Yeah. Was it Cowboy Troy?
No, it wasn't Cowboy Troy. No, and I'm not going to say his name because I don't want to throw him under the bus. Because I've seen him since then, and he's a great guy. I don't want to. But it was crappy that he canceled on me 10 days before, right? Sure. So I was like, well, crap, I have to find somebody, right? So we find this girl. She probably knows your wife because she knew Megan and Leslie and went to high school with them. So
nice.
And so she ended up playing just small area, right? Yeah. And she was like, I didn't know when I called her and booked her. My husband was like, I think that we know her. And I'm like, okay, well, and Leslie had flown in for the wedding, and so it turns out they all went to school together.
Funny.
So yeah, it's like this area is so small. Oh, yeah. Everybody knows everybody.
Yeah, and my wife she lived in Napomo when I met her.
Oh, okay.
So that's like you said, your husband lived there too.
Yeah,
right?
So he lived there, and then they moved to Rio Grande, and then he lived in Reno for 9 years, and then he came back.
Yeah. All right, so let's go back a little farther into music, like when you first remember enjoying music. Do you have like an early memory of the first time you remember thinking, I love that song or that singer?
I have liked music my whole life. I'm not a movie or TV person.
Like at all?
At all. So you
don't enjoy movies or TV shows?
I just am not somebody who goes and sits down and watches a movie.
Okay, but is there any movie in your life you can say, I love that movie?
I love The Grinch.
The Grinch.
The new Jim Carrey Grinch. I watched it this morning.
That's the one you like? Of all the movies in the world, that's the one you pick. I've got some movies that I really like. Okay. I love the Pitch Perfect series, all 3 of them. I love The Greatest Showman. I love The Grinch. I love the Austin Powers series. There's certain movies that I really like. But my husband will quote something and I'll be like, huh? Okay. And he'll be like, this marriage is over. I can't believe you don't know that. And I'm so he's huge into movies.
Oh, he watches every TV show and watches every movie. He's probably at home right now, either watching a movie or binge watching some show that he knows that I'm not interested in. Okay. I don't know. I'm looking at your bookshelf. I've read a lot of those books.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I've read several of them. Frank Peretti. I love Frank Peretti. Yeah. I read The Prophet. I read all the Left Behind series. Okay. I read a lot, and now with all my jobs, I do a lot of reading and I do a lot of, like video watching and stuff like that. Yeah. So but I've never been.
Not a watcher.
I'm just,
so much.
Yeah, I love the Disney movies, even though Disney, in my opinion, has lost its way a little bit.
I think it's coming back, maybe.
I'm hoping it's coming back,
I think they learned their lesson.
I'm hoping it's coming back. Yeah. But I love, The Little Mermaid, and Beauty and the Beast is my favorite Disney movie.
Of all time.
I love Cars. I love the original Cars movie. Yeah. I think the lesson in it is so great. Oh, yeah. It's like... I love the message behind a lot of those old movies. It's
but Cars, the message in Cars.
Yeah, I love the message behind that. Yeah. Right? Yeah. There's a lot of I have some movies that I really, really like, but am I somebody who's who has to go see every new movie that comes out? No, that will never be. My sister loves doing that. I could care less.
But when you think about some of those movies that actually meant something to you, like they really meant something to you, don't you think maybe there's a bunch more out there that you'll never know that could do that for you, and you'll never know?
Yeah. Okay. There probably is.
You just don't care that much.
But no. Okay. I would honestly, if I had my choice of sitting down for 2.5 hours and watching something on TV, or sitting there for 2.5 hours and just chilling and listening to music, I would pick music.
Well, I probably would too. Yeah. I prefer music over movies. But,
and even TV shows like. I love The Big Bang Theory.
Oh, I love it too.
Absolutely love it. Yeah. Absolutely love that show.
So good.
Watch it every time I can. Yeah. We watch it every night practically. We'll just turn it on. It's noise in the background, but I absolutely love that show. Yeah. I'm not a Friends fan.
Oh, really?
I don't. I hate The Office. Oh. I hate The Office.
Really?
Yeah.
How far did you get?
2 episodes.
That's why. No, I did the same thing.
But I've seen a lot of them because my husband likes the show, so I've seen a lot of them. Whatever.
I almost turned it off after one season.
I was not a Seinfeld.
Said, no, don't do it.
Not a Seinfeld fan. Okay. That's not. I guess that's not who I am. So I have loved music since I was a kid. I had my boombox and my cassette tapes, and I would hit record on the cassette tape, and I would make my own tapes, and I would do all that stuff. Yeah. And I wish I was a better singer, because I probably would have gone into music. I wish I had stuck with playing the piano. Okay. I gave that up way too early, and I should have never done that. That's one of the biggest regrets I have, is not sticking with the piano.
Do you like to sing though? Like when
I
no
love
one's
singing,
around,
and I'll sing in front of everybody. I sing in class. Okay. Oh yeah, my people are like, oh, April's singing again.
What else is new?
Yeah, I don't care. I'll sing. Okay. I'll sing in, I'm not a big karaoke person. Yeah. I wish I was a little bit braver with karaoke. Okay. In my next decade, I might feel like I have some bravery.
Because that's strangers you're singing from.
Yeah, and it's not that I'm a bad singer, but I just lack the confidence, I guess. Okay. So I can belt it out. If you put on a song, I'll belt it out with you, but singing it all on my own is a whole different ball of wax, right? So, but I've loved music since I was a kid. I used to play piano in church. I loved church hymns. Okay. I love country. I listened to country for a long time. Then, I just have always loved that. And it's like there's so many artists that I love. I don't know if I could choose a favorite. For a long time, my favorite was Reba. I loved her.
Okay. Do you like her TV show?
Her TV show is pretty funny. Okay. Yeah, I have seen her TV show, and I did watch that. And for a long time when my kids were little, I watched I've seen all the CSIs. Okay. I love NCIS. I love those kind of
true crime kind of stuff.
Yeah, or just Criminal Minds. Yeah. I love the what do you call it? Like the psychology behind all that. Yeah. It's really fascinating to me. So like a show like Criminal Minds, where they take it and they break it down and do the psychology behind it. And they find the person that way is like, I love that.
It's amazing.
I love that stuff.
It's amazing because there's people really doing that.
Oh yeah, that's like a real line of work.
It's gnarly. Yeah, man. I'm like, man,
very smart people.
So smart. Yeah.
Way above my pay grade. Yeah. Way above my pay grade. Yeah. I love that stuff. So when my kids were little and I would be up all night with them, or nursing, and I was pumping in the middle of the night or whatever. Yeah. I would watch those shows, or kids would go to bed and I needed my time because I need some downtime every day. Sure. I would sit and I'd watch a couple episodes and then I'd go to bed. So I like that kind of stuff, but I just
not as much of a connection as you have with music, though.
Yeah, the connection with music is just a little better.
So it's like the earliest. Can you remember like an earliest thing you liked, like where you really like? I love that.
So when I was little, I'd get in the truck with my dad, and he had an 8-track in his truck.
Nice.
And so we would listen to 8-tracks. So Ronnie Milsap, CCR. Okay. Johnny Cash. Yeah. He had those old 8-tracks, and he'd grab 2 8-tracks. People were going for a ride, cool. And his old 64 Chevy, which I have now.
Do you really?
Yeah. My dad died 11 years ago, and that was what I got when he died. And I swore myself I wasn't going to touch it for a year. Mm-hmm. Well, 10 years in, I was like, it's time to touch the truck, right? Yeah. It's fallen apart. I'm currently restoring it, but,
nice.
We would throw in the 8-tracks and go do whatever we were going to do. And that's probably my earliest memory.
Okay. Does it still have the 8-track player in it?
No, that's been long gone, and we're actually on version 2 of this truck. So, but yeah, that and then church. My grandfather was a pastor, and really? So we
local, like in this area.
Mm-hmm. Okay, they were from Van Nuys, but yeah, they moved up here when my dad was like 18 or 19. My dad was off in Vietnam when they moved up here, but so like 71, somewhere in there, 69. Okay. But yeah, he pastored local. He had a tape ministry, sent tapes all over the country, cool. preached in different countries and around the U.S. and stuff. So, I mean, we grew up singing in church. So, we sang on the solid ground of
that's cool.
So those were probably my earliest memories. And
then as you kind of get into like junior high school, kind of those
I had my own
glory days. Like what kind of stuff were you into? Was that when the country really came in, or?
Yeah, I listened to country a lot in those days, and then it kind of like morphed a little bit, and for a while there I was listening to the 90s in high school and stuff. I was listening to all the 90s hip-hop and the 90s pop and that kind of stuff, and Tiffany and Debbie Gibson and all those guys, like when they come on, when I play that kind of music in class and they come on, I'm like, this is my stuff. I totally love all that, Wilson Phillips and all those guys. Like,
I'll still listen to that stuff.
Oh yeah, the movie Bridesmaids, when they have that at the end, I'm like, this is the best thing ever. Like, I love all that stuff. We listened, Beach Boys. My mom's parents listened to a lot of really old country, so we never listened to that in the house unless it was with Dad, because my mom was like, I'm not listening to that anymore. I listened to that growing up, my best friend in junior high and high school listened to a lot of country or Christian artists, and so we listened to a lot of that. I don't remember hardly any of them. Okay. I mean, we listened to Amy Grant and some of those, but she had her ones she likes.
She's a pioneer.
She's so great. I still enjoy her, but she's got some great Christmas music since we're at the holiday season. But it evolves as you age and different experiences in life, and so it's always been. I think it's always been around and part of my life, but
is there a genre of music that you hate? Is there anything?
I don't like the heavy metal, like the really heavy,
like screamy kind of stuff.
Screamy stuff. I'm not an Ozzy Osbourne fan, although he's one of my people. He's a Perky. You know, I didn't care for that kind of music. I don't. I have a guy in my class and he's like, AC/DC is the only music I listen to. And I'm like, okay, about once every 6 months I'll throw on the AC/DC Pandora station just for you because I adore you.
But you don't like that at all? You don't like AC/DC?
No, not a fan. You know, the Metallica, like they may have one or two good songs, but not really a fan of that kind of stuff. I dislike punk. My ex-husband was a punk fan.
That's my all-time favorite.
Yeah, I can't do it.
Okay.
I just can't do it. Those genres of music actually make me agitated. Like,
oh, really?
It has the opposite effect that music has, right?
It makes aggression come out of you?
Yeah, like I feel agitated when listening to it. I can't, like my brain can't process it or something.
Well, that's why they do mosh pits at the shows. You're supposed to get in there and let your aggressions out.
Yeah, that idea terrifies me.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I can't do that.
All right.
I'm not a huge fan, which is funny because my son is in the jazz band, but I'm not a huge fan of jazz. I can go to it and listen to it. Yeah. You know, like if I have an option to go hear music, I want to hear something. They've got to be a good performer. Right. But if it's something like instrumental or whatever, I want to go to a dueling piano bar. Yeah. Like that is my favorite thing in the whole world. Sure. I love that. Yeah. My son plays in the band at Orchid Academy and they're amazing. I go to a lot of their stuff and I like to see him perform and whatnot, but
I would never go and
not my first choice.
Yeah, I would never go and listen to jazz. Like I'm just going to listen to jazz, but like if I'm doing something like I'm reading or I'm relaxing, that's the kind of stuff I want playing in the background. I don't want to play stuff classical. Classical's the same.
So there's a great station on Pandora called Pop Classical.
Oh, does it play like pop songs?
So they do all the pop songs, but they do it symphony style, piano style.
So cool.
I'll play it sometimes in my class because classical music is supposed to stimulate the brain. You're supposed to listen to it when you're reading or when you're studying or when Right. And I just randomly came across it one day, and it's one of my most favorite stations now.
That's cool.
I'll play it, and they'll be like, my fighters will be like, again, April. Yeah. I'm like, oh, I love it. You guys, this is the best station ever. Yeah, that's and you really can sing along because you know the tune and you know the words. Yeah. So I mean,
a couple months ago in San Luis, we went to a thing with I forgot what it was called, Candlelight concerts or concerts by candlelight. It's a string quartet. Oh. And they do different shows, and this one we went to was 90s.
Oh, nice.
So they did all 90s songs, but as a string quartet. So no words, just,
Oh, that would be great.
Oh, it was awesome. They did like the Cranberries, and they did like, I can't think of some other ones. Off the top of my head, Smashing Pumpkins was in there, but it just sounds so cool. Yeah, when it's that version, it's just so relaxing and mellow, and they had all the candles everywhere, and it was just really, really cool.
Oh, that's neat. So, was it at the Fremont?
No, it was at Cuesta.
Oh,
yeah. No, the other one, Cal Poly.
It
was at Cal Poly.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I've been to a concert there.
In the big performing arts center. Yeah.
I've been to a concert there. We saw a Queen tribute band there.
Oh, nice.
I love Queen too. Okay. That's another one I absolutely love. Okay. Queen is I think they're amazing.
Now, be honest with me. Was the first song you ever heard Bohemian Rhapsody when you saw Wayne's World?
Or did you know them before I had heard them before. I can't remember the first song I ever heard. But I do love Wayne's World.
Yeah. Well, because I remember that movie.
Wayne, Party on Garth.
My parents were like, because remember that movie, that song went to number 1.
Yes.
In 95 or whenever that movie came out. And all these kids like me, like, oh, this new song, this band Queen. And my parents were like, that came out like 20 years ago.
Yeah, it's like from the 70s.
Yeah, like, what are you talking about?
And it was like the first, did you see the movie? It was like the first or second or third song that was that long. Mm-hmm. And the record label was like, we're not putting out a 7-minute song. You're crazy. Nobody's going to listen to it.
Right.
Yeah.
And that paved the way because a lot of bands that came after that got 12 and 14 minute songs. I think like Hey Jude, you have your Beatles thing up there.
Oh, yeah. Hey Jude was, I think, before that, and a couple others that were long distance, but they just weren't. But
that was the Beatles. They can get away with that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
The Beatles do whatever they want.
Yeah. That's true. They do. Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, I'm trying to think. Like, there's not a whole lot of music I really hate. There's music I just don't want to listen to. Right. But if it doesn't calm me or bring me happiness, I don't want to listen to it.
So when you want to pump yourself up, like you're working out or something, like what kind of, do you just play like fast pop music, dance kind of music?
Yeah, I'll play 90s hip hop if I want to work out. I'll play the country Hick-Hop stuff.
Okay. All right.
There's the Dr. Dre station on Pandora's kind of fun, you know, like that kind of stuff, because it's all 90s, you know, that's all 90s.
Yeah.
You know, there's some of that stuff that I've pretty much customized a lot of my playlists at this point. I've been, you know, I'll thumbs down something if I don't like it, and I'll just never listen to it again.
Okay.
You know, so there's a lot of good artists, but they sometimes have bad songs.
Sure.
You know?
Oh, for sure.
So you just kind of get rid of some of that or whatever.
Yeah, very cool.
I enjoy a lot of different stuff.
Yeah, I'm the same. I mean, I there's really no genre of music I don't like. I can always find something. When I was younger, I always used to say I like everything but country. But that's way changed now. Like, there's a lot of country I like. You know, some of it I don't like. My wife laughs at me, but I'm always, no matter what the genre, I don't like songs with stupid lyrics.
Yeah, I give you that.
So I put stuff like Boot, Scoot, and Boogie in there. Like, well, there's just kind of like...
that's just a fun...
I know, and that's what people tell me. Right, it's just a fun dance song at the whatever, you got the party or the bar or whatever, you're dancing these songs. I say, yeah, but... Or like, even when you get in like the rap stuff, like songs like Whoomp, There It Is, and stuff. I'm like, this is the stupidest lyrics I've ever heard. Like, what is this? You know, you compare that to someone like Eminem, whose lyrics are just genius. Yeah. And you're like, dude, these, I mean, really?
But they're one-hit wonders, and they were popular.
And that's why they're one-hit wonders.
Yeah.
Because they found a beat and a catchy tune, and now they play it at all the dance clubs and everything. To this day, you go to a dance party, they're going to play Whoop, There It Is.
I know.
It's going to be there.
It came on my 90s classics the other day.
Yeah, you go to a wedding, they're going to play that. Why? Because the crowd wants to dance to stuff like that, you know? Or they have all those other ones now with I forgot the names of them, the Cha-Cha One Time or whatever. Is that the name of the song?
Yeah.
The Cha-Cha?
Cha-Cha, I think. Cha-Cha Slide.
And there's another one. There's a few of them. They always play them at weddings or all these different parties. And
my first dance my first wedding, we had the chicken dance.
There you go. See? Classic.
Yeah.
That'll always remind me of the roller rink.
Yes.
When we were kids, you go to those roller skating parties. Yeah. They get a big circle and do the whole thing.
Do the whole chicken dance.
So funny.
Yeah, that's funny.
All right. Well, let's round off music with giving me, if you can, your top 5 of all time. Artists, bands.
Top 5.
Yeah.
Well, let's see. I have to think about this.
It can be more than 5.
All the genres.
Want,
you know, I love Elvis.
Okay.
Love Johnny Cash.
Okay.
Love George Strait.
Okay.
Reba has got to be in there.
Yeah.
You know, I do think Taylor Swift has done amazing things for music.
How do you feel about her genre bending? Like, do you prefer her earlier country stuff more than her pop stuff?
You know, I don't have a preference for that.
Okay, you like all of it.
I do like her you know, innocent country Tim McGraw song and all that stuff. I love
her first album.
I love her first album. It's
so good.
Fabulous. Yeah. So I went on a trip back east and I met the guy who made her big. And he's passed away just recently, but he was an amazing human, and he did a lot for her in the beginning. Yeah. And she has had quite the career. I would, you know, top 5 of all time, she's probably in there.
Okay.
Do I like some of the direction some of her stuff has gone?
Yeah.
You know, but do I think she's brilliant? Do I think she's done a really fabulous job?
Great songwriter, for sure.
She's a great songwriter.
Yeah. Yeah.
She's got a huge following. Mm-hmm. She has some absolutely amazing songs, especially early ones. I mean, her Love Story album is fabulous. I love that one too.
Yeah.
You know, she's very talented. I enjoy listening to her music.
Sure.
You know, it's so hard to narrow it down because, you know, I like everybody from Paula Abdul to Johnny Cash, you know, like
I always tell people when I ask this question, I couldn't do it.
It's hard. It's
Every
hard
time
to
you
narrow
ask
it down.
me that question, I would give you 5 different artists.
Yeah. If you told me pick your favorite of all time.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Right.
I mean, I don't know.
It's tough.
I don't even know if I have like a favorite song, you know, like I mean, I could think of a couple of songs I really like, but it'd be hard to narrow it down to just one.
Yeah.
You know,
I used to say that, and I think I've settled on, there's one song I think I can say is my favorite song of all time, and it's Nothing Man by Pearl Jam.
I don't even know if I know that song.
Yeah,
I'll have to listen to it.
It's a good one.
Slower one. I lived in Seattle in the 90s.
There you go.
When all that was out. Nirvana, Pearl Jam, all that.
Did you ever see any of them live?
I didn't.
Oh, dang.
I've driven by Kurt Cobain's house, though.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
And Jimi Hendrix is buried in Renton, Washington. I've been to his grave.
Okay.
And, you know, yeah.
Like Kurt Cobain's house after fame or before, like the house he grew up in?
I've driven by both.
Both, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because, you know, after he died, you know, everybody did the whole vigil thing. I didn't ever do that, but I did. You know, you just drive by to see what everything looks like. Or whatever.
See what all the hype is.
Yeah. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. Yeah, I like to talk about ask about, to me, like favorite groups and bands are like ones that will just stick with you forever.
Yeah.
You know, like ones that you know that there will never come a day. Well, I shouldn't say you know, because like you just said, if an artist says, if you believe this politically, then never listen to my albums, like Pink or whatever.
Right.
But like, would you say like, what if, let's say somebody that you just love, like who'd you say, like George Strait or somebody? If he came, he probably would never do this, but if he came out tomorrow and said, hey, if you believe this politically, don't listen to my albums.
I'd have a really hard time with that.
Right? Yeah, because you like
really
him
would,
more, I imagine.
Because, like, I went to his Artist of the Decade concert, you know. I would have a hard time with that, to be honest with you. He, you know, like you said, I don't think...
He'd never do it.
He would ever do that. Yeah. He knows how to stay in his lane.
Right.
Right. He knows how to stay in his lane.
Yeah.
I like people who drive in their lane.
Yes.
You know?
Yeah.
But, there are some people I would probably struggle with.
Okay.
You know?
Yeah.
And, you know, I don't want to let those people take up so much rent in my head.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I would be bummed.
Yeah.
I would be bummed to have to give up listening to him.
Yeah, I think for me, I would never I can't think of... I don't know. I say this loosely. I don't think there's anything that a artist could say that would cause me to stop listening to them if I enjoyed their music. There's things they could do.
Yeah.
Like if it came out that my favorite singer was like a pedophile or something, like actual convicted pedophile, not just like, oh, rumors are this, or because everybody has that these days.
Yeah.
Everybody's a pedophile in Hollywood because of this and this. So-and-so said this. But like if actual convicted, proven, this guy's a pedophile, I'd probably like, okay, I just can't listen to the music anymore. So P. Diddy is out? I never liked P. Diddy anyway. Like East Coast rap for me, there's a few East Coast rappers I really liked. But I always felt like P. Diddy was like, he kind of came on the coattails of B.I.G. and he was just like, he was always that annoying guy in the B.I.G. songs where Biggie's like rapping and Puff Daddy's in the background, yeah. And he'd like repeat what he's saying. I was like, dude, shut up. You're ruining the song. And then B.I.G. dies. And then now all of a sudden Puff Daddy murdered. And then he comes in and he's taken over.
Yeah.
You know, and he sucks.
Dun, dun, dun.
Yeah. Oh, do you think he had something to do with it?
Well, like did we not just talk about I love a good conspiracy theory?
You did say that. Yes. Yeah. Yes. I am not a conspiracy person at all. I'm very facts-based. And I have a lot of friends that are very
conspiracy theories keep coming true.
Well, see, that's the thing.
Then they become facts.
This is the biggest thing people say to me. They say, and I'm sure you've heard this. You probably said this yourself. Conspiracy theories are only conspiracy theories until they're proven true. And I'm like, well, duh. That makes it no longer... That's the whole point. A conspiracy theory is a theory. But when there's solid proof, we're all going to jump on board at that point, right?
Not everybody does.
If there's solid proof. Not like my cousin's boyfriend's roommate worked in a bomb shelter in Washington, D.C., and he heard some stuff, and he knows this. Like, I mean, that's not proof. Like, solid proof, you know?
But some people still don't choose not to believe it.
Well, there's always going to be those people, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah, they don't believe lots of stuff, but... All right, cool. Well, that was fun. Okay, we got there. So you said you lean right?
I lean right.
Okay. Like, how far right do you lean? So far right you can't even see the left, or you like kind of center right? I'm
center right.
Okay.
With some people would think that I maybe hold some extreme views to the right on certain topics. But I'm pretty common sense. But I do, especially fiscally, I definitely lean right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Because the left would say they're also common sense. They think we're crazy.
They think we're crazy.
I lean right too.
Yeah. I think in all honesty that there's crazy on both sides.
Yeah.
I really do. The alt-right and the extreme left are both, in my opinion, too much.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
To say it gently.
Sure.
Too much.
Yeah.
You know, you've got... who's that guy that just was on Tucker Carlson?
Nick Fuentes?
Nick Fuentes. Yeah. Crazy.
Oh, yeah. For sure.
You know? Whoa.
Yeah. Yeah, a little bit.
I don't even know how else to say that, but whoa. Right?
Well, but the scary thing is, I should say so many, but people like Tucker Carlson and Candace Owens, like these people are like, not celebrating him, but they're definitely being more friendly to him than they have been in the past.
So I just listened to a podcast with Megyn Kelly.
Okay.
She had Tucker on,
yep.
and then she had Ben Shapiro on. Did you listen to those?
I did.
Okay. So, they kind of crucified Tucker for not giving him the Ted Cruz treatment, right?
Right.
Well, I think, and I sort of agree with Megyn Kelly on this a little bit. I sort of think that Tucker wanted to tell this kid, listen, you're so far to the extreme. You need to learn how to rein it in. You've got a massive following.
Yeah.
You cannot have, some of these opinions you have are detrimental. You're talking about crucifying an entire race as opposed to just crucifying the individual that's guilty. Right. And I think Tucker went at it as, and I could be wrong, but I feel like maybe, and I didn't listen to I need to listen to the Nick Fuentes. I only heard bits and pieces of it.
It's bad.
I need to listen to the whole thing.
It's pretty bad.
I imagine it is.
Yeah.
But I think Tucker wanted to educate him a little and maybe bring him around.
Yeah.
Again, disclaimer, I didn't listen to the whole Tucker Carlson, Nick Fuentes thing, but I listened to, heard Tucker on Megyn Kelly, and I heard the Ben Shapiro, and there's quite the feud against Ben Shapiro and Mark Levin, and
which makes me sad.
And I'm not a Mark Levin fan, but
I'm not a huge either, but like I like all the Daily Wire guys and I like and all that stuff, but it makes me sad that there seems to be so much infighting right now among a lot of the conservatives. It's really going to be, I belong to the local Republican Party, belong to the state Republican Party. There's some brokenness on the right. Yeah. There really is. Yeah. And if we don't get our act together and somehow bridge that brokenness, we're going to be as bad off as the other side. Right. They've got their brokenness too. Yeah. They're lacking a leader right now, and the people that they are putting up to lead, a little scary. Right. That's what I don't get. I don't get any of that. Like, why? There are actually people on the left that are brilliant.
Oh, yes.
Why aren't they putting any of those people into these positions? They keep putting wackadoodles in there. I don't get it.
Because they aren't forwarding the narrative.
Yeah, right.
They're too center.
Yeah, yeah.
And in my opinion, there's nothing wrong with being center.
Sure. Because
you can see both sides. You come to things with an open mind. There's some things that I will talk to people about, and I'll be like, no, my opinion is here. But let's talk about it.
Sure.
Right? Let's talk about it.
Yeah.
Let me hear your side of the story. Let me hear what you think. And there's times that we'll meet in the middle. Yeah. Because I'm like, okay, I can see where you're coming from your lived experience.
And you're open to changing your view if you're convinced otherwise, right?
Yes. Yeah. Now, I know what I believe, and I'm strong about what I believe. And I'm confident.
Because you've researched it.
And I'm confident in what I believe. Yeah. But I'm not so staunch that I can't understand where somebody's coming from or look at the right side of things. Like, what I believe may not be the best decision for a community, a town. It may not be what's best for that town. Does that make it right or wrong that I believe that way? No. Right. But I can look at things in a way that I can see, that may not be the best, or that may not be, a lot of times it's like you believe one way, but the law says differently. And when you hold certain positions in the community, or you try and help the people, if you will, sometimes you have to follow the law. Right. Because no matter what you believe, you can't, how do you go against... Yeah. Which is very frustrating in some ways, because we have some bad laws on the books.
Yeah, you can attempt to change the laws, because that's happened lots of times. That's what our country's about. Yeah. But while they're laws, you need to follow them, or else you're going to be in trouble. Yeah.
And there's so much black and white, but then there's so much to be lived in the gray area, right? And the state of our state, is not where I'd like to see it ultimately in the long run.
But what about when you go back to the 2024 election and you look at, they showed that graphic of how red California 40%. Had become, which was just mind-blowing. Like, when's the last time California was red like that?
So here's A long time.
Yeah.
Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Right.
And I didn't live here then.
Right.
Okay? I loved it when he became governor.
Yeah.
You know, the governor. But I didn't live here.
Sure.
Here's some of the problem with the red in our state. Mm-hmm. The red doesn't vote. The red does not come out and vote.
Right. You think it's because for years they've thought, what does it
matter?
Our vote means nothing in California.
What does it matter?
Right. Yeah.
But if 40% come out and vote, and that's only the people that will admit they're 40%. We've got independents who vote red. Mm-hmm. We've got some Democrats who are willing to vote certain things red, you know.
Yeah, when their option is Kamala Harris.
I mean,
some Democrats are like, no, I'm on the left, but Kamala Harris?
Yeah, but do you think they voted for Trump?
Some might have.
Maybe.
Some might have, but I understand the hatred for Trump was so bad that they would have voted for a bag of crap over Donald Trump. So
right.
Yeah.
I do think that if we as a state and we as Republicans within the state all actually got out and voted, we could change some things in our state.
Yeah.
I really do.
Yeah.
And, that's not saying that the extreme has to come out. That's just saying those of us that want to see change and want to see things differently.
Right. If
we got out and voted, things would be different.
Yeah. What do you think about the thing with Newsom and the Prop 50 thing that just passed?
I'm really bummed about that.
Okay.
We worked really hard to do a No on 50 campaign with that. And,
why do you think so many people voted for that? Like, why would you think they didn't understand it?
I think that Republicans didn't come out. I think that the people thought it was going to pass anyway. So what did it matter if they voted or not?
Yeah.
What I don't think people understand with that Prop on 50, no and yes on 50, that Prop 50, is that I think that I hope people really are enjoying their Prop 13 rights as of right now, because I think that's going to go away.
Yeah.
I think there's things that'll change in our schools. I think there's how can you govern an area that is agriculture in this area and a major city in this area and one person understand both? Like you're going to be spread so thin the way they district everything that people are going to be underrepresented and they're not going to get what they need from that. So I think that while they say it's temporary only until 2030 when we redistrict anyway or whatever, when is anything temporary in this state?
Right.
When is anything temporary?
So why you think that he just says that because it's going to get it in the door?
Yeah. But do you really see it going back to the old way?
No.
And why would we give up? It's so interesting to me. They did exit polls. I don't know if you saw this, but they did exit polls after people voted. And people would come out and say, I really just want to see an independent commission redistricting our state.
I did see that.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Are you freaking kidding me?
Yeah.
That's what we have now. And you just voted to take that away.
Right.
Seriously?
Yeah.
You just voted to get rid of that independent commission.
Yeah.
And now your politicians are going to draw those lines.
Right.
And who drew those lines? They never really did say.
Yeah.
They gave us a name, but really? Did that person do it?
Yeah.
So you've just voted to take away the independent districting from the independent commission, made up of Democrats, Republicans, citizens, and a few government officials.
Right.
Really?
Yeah.
That's gone now.
Yeah, it makes me wonder if people really didn't understand what they were voting for. They just heard Newsom saying, "You want to get back at Trump? Vote yes on 50."
That's all they heard.
And they said, "Yeah."
That's all they heard. All they heard was, "Well, Texas did it."
Yeah.
Do you know why Texas did it?
Yeah.
The Biden administration sued Texas because they were violating their state constitution.
Oh, is that?
That's where all this started.
Yet. I wanted to, because that's the number one answer I've gotten from people on the left when I say, "Why are you pro Prop 50?" Well, because the Republicans did it in Texas, so we have to retaliate. I said, so in other words, two wrongs make a right? Is that what you're trying to say? Mm-hmm. Yeah, pretty much. I mean, they have no problem saying that.
If you follow it back, it started with the Biden administration suing the state of Texas because they were violating their constitution because people were not represented properly in the state. So they had to redistrict.
Okay. Yeah. Awesome.
Okay, so it just got, the suit actually just followed its path. And of course, it happened under Trump, which, I mean, we might as well get the elephant out of the room. I'm not a huge Trump fan.
Yeah.
I'm not.
As a leader of the country or as a person?
As a person.
Okay.
I'm not a
Nobody
huge
is.
Trump fan as a person.
I don't think anybody
I don't necessarily, and I don't agree with all of his policies.
Sure.
I really don't.
Sure.
Are there some good things he's doing for us? Absolutely.
Yeah. Do you think he's doing better a second term or first term?
Oh, the first term I wasn't nearly as involved in things as I am now.
Okay.
COVID really is what got me to put both my feet into this stuff. Yeah.
Okay.
And it started with the kids not going to school.
Oh, okay.
So I paid attention, but not like I should have. And that's really the honest to God truth.
So the closing of the schools is what kind of really got you fired up?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And then some of the stuff that was coming down from the state, some of these laws that they've passed about parental rights and not informing parents and stuff like that.
That's crap.
Yeah. I would say don't get me started, but we're here to get started.
Yeah.
So that's really what did it for me. Okay. And so to be real honest with you, like I said, I paid attention in 2016, but not like I should have.
Okay.
I really wish I had paid more attention.
Mm-hmm.
So term 1 versus term 2, I think he had 4 years to think about what to do.
Right.
I think he had 4 years to watch what was happening to our country and what was happening in our country.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that he had some time to put the right team together. I really do like some of the people he's got.
Oh, yeah. When he was putting together his cabinet, I was like, I felt like I was watching a sports draft or something.
Oh, my gosh.
It's like, yes, that guy. Oh, that girl. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was great.
Absolutely. I think Kristi Noem is fabulous.
Oh, yeah, totally.
She was a great governor. I think she's a great,
yeah.
There's, Pam Bondi. She needs to step it up a little.
Yeah.
But,
Epstein files,
Oh, yeah. I'm glad they're going to come out. And I do.
Do you think they are, though? Do you really think they're going to come out? I don't know.
Well, they voted.
Well, we'll see.
But what they voted. And I do think it was a brilliant way that came about.
Yeah.
I think that was the plan all along. Okay. I think there was some strategy behind the way that vote came about.
Yeah.
I do wonder how much will be redacted.
Right. That's what I mean.
But we have some of the emails, and we've seen that weren't totally redacted.
Yeah.
So, it's so funny when Epstein, was unalived, however you want to think he did it. My oldest son was, I think he was like 7th or 8th grade, but he was always telling me, Mom, Epstein didn't hang himself,
Yeah.
All those memes and stuff he'd send them to me, and it was just funny. And so I paid attention to some of that stuff back then, and then it all went away. And but now it's interesting. I really hope that the right stuff comes out and the right people. I think that if a list comes out, we're gonna be surprised and not surprised all at the same time.
I guess what I always think about is I try to say so let's say I'm Jeffrey Epstein. I would never want to be Jeffrey Epstein, but let's say I was, and I have this sex island, and I got all this illegal stuff going on with underage girls and all this stuff, and I have all these celebrities. Why in the world would I write all their names down anywhere? Why would I do that?
Because you knew that someday...
I would have for leverage?
Yeah.
You think so? He's like, I have dirt on all these guys.
Why are there pictures of Prince Andrew with young girls? Why are there pictures with...
Well, we're pretty sure he's there because he
Oh, he's there.
Yeah, he's pretty much...
There's no question he's there.
Yeah, but all the other people, they're saying even with Trump, they're going to say, look, here's a picture of Jeffrey Epstein and Trump together back in 1992 or something. It's like...
Yeah, but...
Okay, that doesn't mean he was... You could even maybe prove that Trump was on the island at some point.
And maybe some of these people that went to the island didn't know.
Sure.
Maybe they actually didn't know what was going on, but you go once and you don't go back.
Right.
When you go 10 and 12 and 15 and 50 times, you know what's going on. Yeah. I'm sorry.
There's probably a big group of people that knew what was happening out there and maybe were silent, which is wrong in and of itself, of course.
Oh, yeah, silence.
But that's different than saying that you were actually out there sleeping with underage girls. That's a totally different thing than knowing it was happening and not saying anything.
Okay, but Yeah. And here's the thing. The girls have come forward. Mm-hmm. Do we believe them or do we not? What?
Believe all women, right?
Well, why would they make that up? Why would a 14-year-old know how to make that up?
Sure.
Why aren't we believing them?
Yeah. Well, the 14-year-old, though, she's only, if I'm correct, I think she's only specifically pointed to Epstein himself, correct? That he had sexual relations with her.
Yeah, there's been a couple of girls, and I don't know all their ages, but just as a general rule, what I'm saying is, if we have these girls coming forward and they're 14, 15, 16, even 17, or even 18, why are we not believing them? Why are we not...
Well, I mean, for me, I'm not saying we shouldn't... I don't agree with the people that when they hear something like that, no way. and they just discount it. I don't think that's right either, but I also don't think we should just hear a story and be like, oh, definitely.
Yeah, no, I agree.
There should always be due process.
But why would we not look into it?
We should look into all that, of course.
I'll tell you, be real open here.
All right.
At 14, 15, 16, I would have not known to make that stuff up. I didn't even know what sex was until I was 16. Right. I didn't want to know.
Which is different than kids that are that age now.
Correct.
Right? You and I grew up in a different time.
We grew up in a different time. My mom was like, honey, we have to have the talk. And I was like, I don't want to have any talks with you like that. Seriously. Right. My mom will tell you. If she was here, she'd be like, yeah, April was a problem. Yeah. Right? I didn't want to know that stuff.
Sure.
So the fact that these girls know all this stuff is like telling. Right. So, like, release the files. Release it all.
Right. And I agree with you. I think they should. Yeah. I mean, there's no reason why they shouldn't.
Well, if they don't, what are they hiding?
True.
Or who are they protecting?
Right. But let's just say hypothetically, there is Epstein files, but let's say there's no list of people that were out there. Let's say that just never even existed. There's no such thing. Now, and they release these files and there's no list, people are going to be outraged because everybody's so convinced that there is definitely a list.
Okay, so is there flight logs?
Sure.
Okay, so
so that would be a list, right? Just to show who was there.
And if you see the same person coming back and forth, but are are we using the real
Maybe they're
names?
just playing golf.
Bill Clinton was there playing golf.
Bill Clinton loves golf.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And girls.
Bill Clinton's not a perv. Come on now.
And girls. He likes girls,
Bill Clinton is an obvious one, right? That wouldn't surprise anybody if he was on that list.
We're all expecting.
We all know.
We all expect him and Bill Gates on that list.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
That they say that's why his wife left him.
Yeah. Well, could be. And isn't he with some really young chick now? Bill Gates?
I try not to look at him.
I think he is.
I'm not a Bill Gates fan.
I think he's,
He probably is. Yeah. I'm not a fan of his.
You could be a fan of what he's done.
Nope.
Like technologically wise? No?
I guess.
Yeah. It's like Elon Musk. A lot of people don't like Elon Musk as a person. But I'm like, man, he's done some pretty cool things.
Yeah, I mean, Microsoft is okay. They've sort of, they created the computer, then they created the virus to fix the computer to this, to that,
It's like creating diseases and then creating the vaccine. Yeah.
Which vaccines are a whole different story than, I think that...
Are you a militant anti-vaxxer?
I'm not an anti-vaxxer at all. My kids are vaccinated. I was vaccinated. Yeah. My kids were on a delayed schedule. I refused to give them 75 vaccines before they were 2 years old.
When you say you were vaccinated, are you talking about just the standard vaxes or are you talking about like COVID?
I am totally against the COVID vaccine. Okay, The COVID vaccine is a bioweapon that... and of course, there we go, controversial.
Okay, let's hit it.
The COVID vaccine is a bioweapon. Okay. And it's killing people. Okay. And I see it every day.
You think it's still killing people?
Yes.
Really?
And the more vaccines you get, the worse off it's going to be.
Yeah, because you don't hear about it much anymore. Because you were hearing about the 18-year-olds who were dying on the football field or the heart.
You just have to pay attention.
Myocarditis. Yeah, right.
Well, it's causing a lot of other issues. I think that's the reason the cancer's such an uptick. I think that's why neurological conditions are such an uptick. Mm-hmm. I think that's why we're still seeing people are still dropping dead. Right. And I've lost some really, really important people in my life, and 5 vaccines and all of a sudden they have turbo cancer and they're dead in 4 months. Right. Yeah. Yeah. What has changed medically in our world to cause the uptick in all the things we're seeing. Right. What is it? It's either the virus or the vaccine, or it's a combination of the two. Sure. I think the virus itself was released and is a bioweapon as well. Right. I had the original strain, and I have some random condition that nobody in my family has ever had.
Oh, really? Still?
Yeah. Yes. I deal with it every day.
Okay.
Yeah. Because
is that what they would call long COVID?
No, I have a condition. I have a medical issue now
that started after you got COVID.
I just got diagnosed this last year. Okay. Yeah. Okay. And it's like, where the heck did that come from? Yeah. And it's an autoimmune type thing, and it's like I can tie. I'm sure it's tied back to having the original strain. Yeah. But the COVID vaccine should be banned. Yeah. And
are people still getting it?
So I just read an article yesterday, actually, that said 65% of people are not. Right. That they have changed their tune on it. Yeah. But I have friends and people in my class that still go get them.
Really? Yeah. Still get the boosters and everything? Yeah. What I never understood about it, and of course this is where you talk about how the push was when COVID first happened. They were making it sound as if you couldn't step outside your front door and breathe, or you were going to fall over dead from COVID. And they got all these people so scared
Yeah.
And obviously, like, if it's that severe, yeah, give me a vaccine. Because I'll take my chances with the vaccine if I have a 80% chance of dying just by going to the mall, right?
Yeah.
But that we all know that's not true.
No.
And that just,
had it run its course,
yeah,
it would have died off.
Yeah, and
it's been mutating because we keep giving it something to mutate around.
Sure. Yes.
Yeah. Had we just treated it like it was a flu season, it'd have been over.
Yeah, I cracked up one time. I was talking to a coworker, and she's talking about, did you hear that 3 people in San Luis died of COVID? It was like early on, right? I was like, yeah, but you do realize, like, lots of people die every year from the flu, right? She goes, really?
Oh, yeah.
Like, it was like nobody knew that or something. Like, because
nobody pays attention.
Well,
they didn't start paying attention until COVID happened.
Until COVID, right.
They didn't start paying attention. But yes.
Yeah.
And did you notice the flu went away when we had COVID? Well, guess what COVID was?
Yeah, the flu.
The flu.
Right.
That was created in a lab and released.
Yeah.
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 It's crazy.
Well, see, that's the whole thing that gets me going. Like, and I said, I'm not a conspiracy guy, like I already said. But things like that really make me think. We got the whole Fauci thing where he admitted...
That guy's evil.
Well, yeah. I mean, he flat out admitted to all kinds of stuff.
That guy's a murderer.
And he's still out there.
With living his best life in retirement. He's writing a book,
and they're doing a documentary on how he's the greatest doctor of all time. And
he was bad when the AIDS epidemic.
Yes,
he killed so many men.
Right,
killed so many people.
Yeah,
he mandated everybody use remdesivir in the hospitals. That's what killed people, not COVID. Right. Remdesivir was killing them.
Yeah.
That was a drug that they tested on, they wrongly tested on people in another country. And because it was killing so many people, they pulled it off the market. And we're going to give that to people.
And Fauci's like, hey, let's use that.
Let's use remdesivir to kill people with COVID, and then say it's COVID.
Yeah.
So you get remdesivir, you get put on a ventilator, and you're dead.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like, that guy is probably number one there on the most horrible human ever.
So why do you think that assuming for the sake of argument that he was doing this on purpose, what motive do you think? Was it like money? Do you think it was...
I do think he's in the pharmaceuticals pockets.
Okay.
I mean, I do think Big Pharma was pumping him up, and I think that they saw it as a way to make... I mean, look at how much money Big Pharma made with all this.
Yeah.
And look at how much money they're making now.
Yeah.
How many people do you know that have some random, rare disease now that we're like... 5 people with that random, rare disease?
Yeah. It's not very random and rare.
It's not random, very rare. Here's the thing. Like, I know 5 people with pancreatic cancer. Before COVID, you know who I knew with pancreatic cancer?
Yeah.
Patrick Swayze.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's the only person we're like, pancreatic cancer? Who gets pancreatic cancer? Right? Glioblastomas? Who got glioblastomas? Now I know several people with them.
Yeah.
Like, random cancers that you never heard of before, and now they're heart problems. Right. Yeah. Right. Okay, people have heart attacks, people drop dead. But how many people do you know in your circle that are now have got heart problems or are gone?
Especially young people. That's the part that shocks.
People our age and younger.
Right. When 80 and 90-year-olds are having heart attacks, you're just like, well, yeah.
Okay, well, they're 90.
That's normal, right? That's part of
aneurysms,
life.
that's the other thing. Aneurysms are strokes.
Yeah.
I cannot tell you. And I think part of my strong feelings about this is the industry I work in. I work with people who have issues. Right. And I see so much, and I get so many phone calls. I signed up 4 people this week alone for my class.
Oh, wow.
4. 5 years ago, 6 years ago, if I had 4 in a month, I was like, I must have had a newspaper article out on me.
Yeah.
I never had 4 in a week, ever.
Yeah.
I get phone calls for people with strokes, for people with, now regularly. Whether they can come to class or not is a whole different story, and whether they can get, But
do you ever ask them if they've gotten the COVID vaccine and stuff, like just for your own curiosity?
I have.
I know you're probably not allowed to ask that kind of stuff.
I can ask whatever I want. I mean, I want to respect people.
Sure.
So here's my feeling on medical stuff. You have to do what's right for you. Right. If you feel like the COVID vaccine is right for you, you do it.
Do it, yeah.
But don't shove it on me.
Well, see, and that's the way I feel.
And I'm not going to...
Yeah.
Like when I said in the beginning, if people ask me my opinion, I preface it with, are you sure you want it?
Right, right.
If somebody asks me my opinion on the vaccine, I will say, I'm happy to give it to you, but you need to be prepared to hear what I have to say. Right. So I have most people tell you when they get their COVID vaccine, they'll tell you.
Oh yeah, they're proud of it.
They're proud of it.
Yeah.
So you don't even have to ask anymore.
It's like the little I voted sticker. It's like, I got vaccinated.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh yeah, I have one guy who wore an I got vaccinated sticker for like weeks.
Yeah, right?
Yeah. I'm like, great. And if that's what you need to do.
But at that point it becomes a political statement. Just get vaccinated and go home and shut up. Why you got to tell everybody about it?
Yeah. If I want people to have medical autonomy, right? What you do for you is between you and your doctor. Mm-hmm. What I do for me is between me and my doctor. The government should not be telling me what I need to put into my body, and neither I should not be telling you what you need to put in your body. Right. If you want my advice as someone who has done some research and has been educated on certain things, I'm happy to give it to you. But I'm not a doctor, nor do I play one on TV.
Right.
But in my research, I have found that the COVID vaccine is dangerous. Period.
Okay.
That's my bottom line.
And that's from firsthand experience of talking with people.
I've talked to people. I've read research. I follow lots of pages. I follow lots of different doctors. Some of them are controversial. Some of them are not. Some of them are more mainstream. We've even got mainstream doctors that are changing their tune. Yep. When we know better, we do better.
Sure.
Right?
Oh, knowledge is key. Yeah.
Bottom line, when you know better,
assuming
you do better.
you're getting the right knowledge.
Assuming you're getting the right knowledge.
Because there's so much bias out there. It's hard to. I wish everybody would just have one goal in mind, which is getting to the truth of every issue, instead of saying, "Well, we need to spin this truth so it fits our narrative." Correct. And it can motivate us politically. It's like, no.
Well, so that's why you have to look at both sides.
Right.
That's why I watch CNN, I watch Fox News, I watch MSN, I read Epic Times, I'll look at Daily Wire. I mean, I look at all of them.
Sure.
Because sometimes this one has the right thing, in my opinion.
Okay, but let me ask you something, though, because I do the same thing, by the way. I do that. I try to get every story I can on a certain topic. But what I run into, and I'll ask you what you do about this, what do you do if you see one news source saying one thing? Let's just throw something out there for the sake of argument. One news source is saying this pen is red, and the other news source is saying this exact same pen is blue. Well, that's a dumb example because we can both look at it and see it's red. If it's something we can't see, right, how do you determine which side is telling the truth? So then I quit looking at the news and I started doing research. Doing your own research. Yeah. But like, where are you doing the research? I have a very, very low belief of anything I hear on the news. Mm-hmm. I'm not, I wouldn't say I'm a skeptic at heart, but not somebody anymore that will just jump in and believe anything I hear. Yeah. I just won't do it. So if I hear one thing on CNN and I hear another thing on Fox, I'm like, okay, well, clearly they have two different sides of that story. So I'm going to do some reading on it. And I'll Google, I'll chat GBT, I'll, do some reading. I'll ask people I know. I'll talk to people. Yeah. I have no problem calling up somebody and saying, hey, what do you think about this? Right. Like, what do you see? What are you seeing? And, I have friends in different industries, so if it's medical, I have some medical people I can talk to. If it's, and that's the best way to do it. I don't believe everything the news tells me. Right. I mean, I might yell at the TV a few times, but I'm going to yell at all sides. Yeah. Which is a good thing to do because they can obviously hear you. Obviously. Doesn't it make you feel better when you yell at the TV? Sometimes, yeah. Just a yell makes you feel better sometimes. I don't care who I'm yelling at. Just sometimes. Oh my gosh, I can't believe they said that. Yeah. And then I, walk out of the room. But like a good example of what you're talking about, I don't know a lot of people in certain industries, but I do have a friend that works for ICE. Oh, okay. So I'm always trying to decipher between if what I'm seeing is actually true, if it's a partial of a video, like, oh, look at this old grandma just got tackled and all this stuff. And that's all you see. Of course, it's going to anger anybody. Right. How dare you tackle that grandma and beat her to the ground and do all this stuff? But you don't see what happened 10 minutes before that. You know it's like saying? That. Did you see that video with the kid in the car? The kid in the car. With the ICE, the kid in the car. I missed that one. The kid was in the back seat, and I'm probably going to get it wrong, so I don't want to say it. But it was taken out of context from what it looked like. And they were talking about, well, did you see the 10 minutes before? Mm-hmm. Yes. When the kid was in the back seat and the dad grabbed him and put him in the front seat, Yeah, it goes back to even like police brutality videos. Oh, yeah. Oh, here's this video of this guy beating the crap out of this cop beating the crap out of a guy on the ground. Everybody, all America's all up in arms. Yeah. You go like 2 minutes back in the video and you see this guy running at the cop with a knife, with a gun, something, right? And that's why he disarmed him, threw him on the ground, and he's beating him up. There's a reason. But no, the media presents it in a way that they want you to think that this guy was just strolling down the street, minding his own business, whistling a happy tune, and a cop jumped out of the bushes, threw him on the ground, started beating him up for no reason at all. Yeah. And so much of America is just, I guess, too stupid to even realize who does that, really? Where is that happening? Well, that's where cops are doing that.
I come back to common sense.
Right.
Let's think about this.
Yes.
Let's think about it. Like, you know, I feel very safe at most places I go.
Sure.
You know, I try not to live my life in fear. Yeah. So I feel like I can walk down the street without somebody attacking me.
Some would tell you that's because of your white privilege. Some would tell you that. They'd say, well, of course you feel safe, April, because, you know, you're white. You don't have to worry about all the things that all the minorities have to deal with. Well, which I think is dumb. I'm just saying some would say that. I wouldn't say that. I would never
make that a race issue. Right. I feel like we should all feel safe going.
I agree.
I feel like we should not live in fear. Now, I understand that there are places that go to, you know, you have to keep yourself safe. Like, I was in San Francisco 2 weeks ago. I choose not to live in fear, but I wouldn't want to walk around that city.
Oh, yeah. Anymore, which is a bummer.
Right.
I used to love
regardless
that city.
of who I was.
Sure.
Or anything like that. San Francisco has really changed, right? I'm not going to live being fearful of doing stuff that I want to do, so I wasn't willing to be like, no, I'm not going to San Francisco because I'm afraid of that town.
Right.
I had an event to go to there. We went in, we did our event. I wasn't going to live in fear for going there. Sure. But I wouldn't walk around at 10 p.m. at night either. Right? So I don't think it has anything to do with race. I think we have to be smart.
Sure.
Right? We all have to figure out what's best for us and how we're going to protect ourselves. And whether that's, you know, choosing to not do something because you don't feel like it's safe.
Right.
I don't think that's, you know, I want to enjoy my life. I don't want to live in fear. Yeah. So,
but when you see more cops around a city that you're walking around, let's say, do you feel more safe or less safe? Like, does the presence of law enforcement
really never leave Santa Maria? So to be honest with you, you know, I don't.
But even in Santa Maria, if you're at a big event and you see, like, say, you see security there, does that make you feel more safe or less safe?
Well, it makes me sad that we have to have so much security at any event that we have, right?
Of course.
It makes me sad that people have to walk around with armed guards around us. You know.
Yeah. I agree.
I think we should have police at courthouses, and I think we should have a police presence in our town. I think that we've vilified the police in a lot of ways. And to protect and serve is really what the police should be now. Are there, just like in any industry, are there bad policemen?
Of course.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Are most of them bad?
You're right. Bingo.
Are most of them bad? No,
they're not.
You know, I got a kid who wants to be a policeman.
Oh, right. Nice.
I would never have the conversation with him that, oh, don't do that because police are bad.
Right.
No way.
Instead, you have the converation like, oh, don't do that because your life will be in danger, and I worry for you.
I know. I love you, kid. I don't want you to go anywhere.
Right.
But, there's bad people in every.
Of course.
There's people that are out for themselves in every industry. And that's politics. That's police. That's doctors. That's the average person. That's, there are people that are only out for themselves in any industry that you are in.
Yeah, but it seemed like people on the right tend to look at it and say that that's the minority. Those that are bad cops or bad this or bad that are the minority, where it seems like a lot of people on the left think it's the majority. Most cops are bad. Well, most this or this, and I hate vilifying an entire group of people because of a loud minority. Yes.
Right? So you do have a lot of people that will say cops are bad. And yes, they tend to be people who are doing riots and doing anti whatever. And of course those people are going to say the cops are bad.
Sure.
Because the cops are trying to control something. You have these kids at colleges that are destroying buildings and they're pissed off at the cops because the cops are trying to save a building when these kids should not be there. Of course they're going to say the cops are bad. Now, do I think the cops are bad? No, they're doing their job. They're doing what they were hired to do. Those kids are wrong.
Yes.
Those kids are wrong. Those kids are destroying property that is not theirs.
Correct.
Period.
Yeah.
They're destroying property that is not theirs.
Right.
So, they're going to say cops are bad and whatever.
Yeah. Who hates cops? Criminals.
Criminals hate cops.
Because they're being told, hey, you can't do that, man.
Right. Criminals hate cops.
Yeah.
You know?
Right. Like for me, I people think I'm crazy. I'm like, hey man, the more cops, the better. I feel safe. I want them all over the place because I'm like, there's going to be less crime if there's more cops. That's my view. So
maybe
most crimes happen when there's nobody around to see it, right? Yeah. That's why they're happening. And most people aren't going to commit a crime right in front of a cop unless they're stupid. Some will. I mean, you watch those Jay Leno's The World's Dumbest Criminals that he used to have on. He used to crack me up.
Well,
but like
anymore, you can steal $900 from stuff worth at the grocery store and walk out, and there could be a security guard standing right there, and they won't do anything.
Well, see, that's another part of the problem, right? Is that we've castrated our law enforcement.
Yeah,
and
we've tied their hands.
Yes,
nobody's getting in trouble anymore.
Why would a cop put himself in harm's way,
right,
if he knows that guy's just going to get out of jail?
We
anyway.
are soft as a society.
Exactly.
We have become a soft society. We are offended at everything. We are, our parents don't parent anymore like they used to. We, our kids are our friends. Like, it's not the same as it was when we were kids.
Yep.
And when we were kids, if you or I had shoplifted, I know what my mom would have done.
Yep.
I'd have been back in that store and my hand would have been whacked.
Oh, yeah.
And I'd have probably been working there for 10 hours to pay off the pack of gum I stole.
Right.
I mean, there would have been,
oh yeah,
do not pass go, do not collect $200.
Yeah, my wife and her older sister, got in trouble one time for shoplifting when they were kids, like 10 or 11.
Oh, geez.
And I forgot what store it was. I'm probably going to butcher this story. Sorry, baby, if you're listening to this. But they put them basically in the jail. I think it was the mall or something. The mall jail or whatever. And they called her dad.
Yeah, there was an office upstairs.
And her dad's like, no, I'll come down in a couple hours. Leave them in there for a while.
Let them sit there.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Let them sit there and be scared to death and feel like they're going to go to real jail and experience the consequences. And you know what? My wife has never done since that day?
She learned a lesson, didn't she?
She has never shoplifted since.
She learned her lesson.
Correct.
But her dad was able to drop her off at 10 years old at a mall, and she was safe.
Right. That's
Would you drop your 10-year-old off?
No way. No way.
I barely want my 18-year-old going to our mall.
Right. Yeah. I know.
I worked at the mall when I was in high school.
Oh, really? What store?
I worked at Sweet Factory in this store called Cover Look.
The Sweet Factory was the candies? Store. They had all the big things, the big tubs and stuff?
Yep. Okay. I worked there, and then I worked at a photo place. We did fancy glamour shots.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice. Glamour Shots by Deb. Have you seen that movie?
It was called, I haven't.
Napoleon Dynamite?
Oh, no.
Oh.
I saw part of it and I was like, I can't do this.
Couldn't handle it, huh? Okay.
No, but my son looks like Napoleon does.
Oh, really?
I have a son that
That's awesome.
He dresses as him for Halloween sometimes, yeah.
You got to teach him the dance.
He knows the dance.
He does.
Yeah, he's seen the movie. He
knows
the dance. Yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, no, life is so different now, us as a society versus the way it was when we were kids.
I know.
It's just, so, the respect that people had for law enforcement and politicians even, and just people of higher whatever in the society as we've deemed it, right?
Sure.
That doesn't mean anybody's higher than another. I think we all put our pants on the same way.
Right.
And I don't think anybody's more important than anybody else. But we've elevated certain careers and certain people to higher status, and we hold them to a different whatever. But I think that,
I don't know though, some job, like I would say the brain surgeon is a little higher up than the guy flipping burgers.
Yeah.
Not as a value of a person,
right,
but the value
That's
of
what I'm
the
saying.
job.
The value of the job is different. So we do elevate those positions, and they are of greater importance in this society. We need them.
Sure. Yeah.
We need them. I could never be a brain surgeon.
Right.
I am not smart enough.
Right.
I know that.
Yeah.
But
it's important that we have those.
But
it's important we have burger flippers too. We all love a good burger.
We have to have everybody.
Yes.
It takes everybody to run the world.
Yeah.
We need people who, pick up our trash. My husband was a trash man for a long time.
Nice.
It was a great job. He loved it.
Oh, yeah.
We need people to do that, and we need people to be politicians and brain surgeons.
Yeah.
We need everybody in the world. Mm-hmm. And whether we all get along and agree, but at the end of the day, we're all humans,
right?
And we all have value.
Yeah,
really.
And that's where I agree with especially like right now with everything going on with like deportation and stuff. The people that talk about it in a dehumanizing way, as if the people being deported are less than us, or they're less. If I'm a legal citizen, you're an illegal citizen, or you're an illegal immigrant, then you're less than me.
They're not less than us, but they made a mistake.
Correct.
They made a mistake coming to a country, not the right route. So, my brother-in-law is an immigrant. My sister brought him here on a K-1 visa.
Yeah.
She went through all of the stuff that you go through legally. It took her like 3 years.
Yeah.
It took her, it was a lot of money.
Yeah.
They had to go sit in front of with immigration interviews and all that stuff. It's not easy to come here. No. Our immigration system is definitely broken.
Yeah, it needs to be. Yeah, reformed.
It is definitely broken. Mm-hmm. But, you know, those people made a mistake.
Yeah.
And our government made a mistake. What other country in the world has open borders?
Right, none.
You know, I don't think those people are less than, but they should not have walked across.
No, and that's
we should have had a border.
That's my point, though.
Because no other country
like
does.
So many people claim that, let's say I say, oh, I'm pro-deportation. If you're here illegally, you need to go back. Or you need to become a legal citizen. You have to go through the proper channels. Mm-hmm. And I say that, well, first of all, if I say that, this point I was making, if I say that, a lot of people will say, oh, well, you're seeing them as less than. No, I'm not seeing them as less than any more than someone who breaks any law.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, and if they came here illegally and broke our laws, you know, some like the Lincoln Rileys, you know, those situations where those guys have committed murder or they have committed rape or what like that, they need the book thrown at them.
Oh, yeah. Totally.
Yeah.
Oh, murder? Yeah. For sure.
And to have sympathy for somebody like that, I'm sorry.
That's what's gnarly.
I don't have it. And I will happily admit that I have, that girl should be alive.
Right.
And all these other people who are in the same situation as her should be alive. There is no reason she should not be here.
Right. But see, the argument from the other side, I don't agree with this. I'm just saying the argument from the other side would be, yeah, but murders happen all the time.
They do.
It has nothing to do with him being an illegal immigrant. People are just saying that part for a political motive and this kind of stuff. But the fact is, if he wouldn't have come over here illegally, or if we would have deported him before that happened,
or if we
Lake and Riley would still be alive, or a secure border.
All we needed is a secure border. We had a secure border.
Yeah.
What happened that it became unsecure?
Right. Some guy named Joe Biden, I think.
I know, but what was the reason for not keeping it that way? Well,
that's where the theories come in, right?
I know.
So this is where we get into them. You know, there's a lot that would say that they're bringing them all over because they want vote. But see, this is the thing I don't understand, right? It's if you sneak over the border illegally, how are you able to do things out in the open like vote and get driver's licenses and get like who is doing that?
Our state allows it.
I know, that's gnarly to me. That's where in my opinion, that's where we should be hitting. Obviously, you can bulk the borders up, you can do all that. You're always going to have people that are still able to come over illegally. It's going to happen, right? But why are we allowing them to do all this stuff? I mean, there's government agencies that are filling out paperwork, multiple people involved in this whole process that are doing this. Oh yeah, let's get you a driver's license. What? What?
Yeah,
really? Let's let you vote. Are you kidding me?
You couldn't go anywhere else and get that.
No.
You'd have to follow the process. You'd have to get a visa to go into the country. You'd have to get paperwork to get into the country.
Yes.
You can't just walk in.
Right.
And get a driver's license and get a
and that's
bank account.
And that's why when people try to pull the race card with that, I say, no. Here's what you need to understand. There is a vast majority of citizens of this country that came over as immigrants and did, like you just said, it took them 3 years. They went a hard process. Mm-hmm. Do you know what they think about people that are sneaking over illegally?
Oh, they don't.
They're not happy about it either.
Because it negates everything they had to go through. It negates.
And they're the same ethnicity as the illegal immigrant is.
It makes what they did have no value.
Stuff. Right. Yes.
Like my brother-in-law has gone all the way through and he's now a citizen.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Because he wanted, once he got here, he was like, this is a great country.
Right.
I want to be a part of it.
Yes.
Right? So he went all the way through and got his citizenship.
Right.
And
Which is great.
They did it 100% above board.
Yep.
You know, my sister's retired military. She was like, there is no way I'm not following the law.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
But that's not how everybody looks at things. And it's unfortunate that, you know, I do think that, you know, there's got to be some reform in the way things happen. Mm-hmm. I think that we have a very broken system, and I really hope that in the next couple of years that Kristi Noem can do some things with immigration.
But she killed her dog, so nobody trusts her.
I know.
That's what people always say. You can't even mention Kristi Noem when somebody says, "Oh, you mean the dog killer?"
Yeah, come on.
Oh, shut up.
Yeah. People shoot horses all the time because they're lame, or whatever.
Right.
But I really think that needs to be a priority. I hope that in the current administration does make it a priority, because I do think that, that there are good people that have come over that want the American dream.
Right. And to me, in my opinions, that's what it's all about.
Yeah.
That's what America's always been about.
I love that we're a melting pot.
Yes.
I have friends of all different religions and races.
Oh, it's great.
And my mother-in-law is Jewish.
Right. Yeah. And all the food we can get from all over the place. Hello.
Yeah. I love all the diversity we have here.
Yes.
And living in Seattle, the food. When I lived up there, oh my God, all the food, all the diversity.
Yeah.
I love that. That's what I think we were built on immigrants, right? We were built on immigration.
Right.
Yeah. But
that's why I get sick of people saying, Trump is anti-immigrant or people on the right are anti-immigrant. Right. No, nobody. There's I shouldn't say nobody. There are some that say, no, we should just be what we are. No immigrants at all. That's the alt-right. That's the Nick Fuentes of the world.
That's not us.
And, it's the word illegal in front of it. Well, that's the problem. Illegal immigration is the problem, not immigration, because there's almost nobody in this country that can say that they're either not immigrants themselves or they came from immigrants.
I can trace my family back to the Mayflower.
There you go. Right. We all came from somewhere. This was not Europe when it started, right? So
yeah. It boils down to somebody made a mistake. They came across that border. The cartels were taking advantage of those people because they wanted to get to America.
Right.
I do think there was some nefarious stuff going on. You hear about the prisons that were emptied and those people were here in the States. Well, we didn't vet anybody. So how do we know if somebody's here for good reason and the American dream or,
exactly. Yeah, exactly.
or not? And I do think that we wouldn't have some of the crimes that we've heard about, if we hadn't had those open borders. And it really devastates me for those families. I couldn't imagine losing a child or, anyone to a crime like some of those that have been committed that we've heard
gnarly.
about.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
It's nuts. So I wanted to mention this when we were talking about the big pharma and all that stuff, and we were talking about Trump's cabinet. What do you think of RFK Jr.?
I love RFK.
Okay.
Love him.
Do you feel like, though, I was all excited?
Actually, he was my choice for president.
Oh, really? Okay.
I would have voted for him. If he'd have stuck in the race, I'd have voted for him.
Okay.
He
smartly dropped out, though, because he would have just been taking Trump's votes.
Yes. Yeah. I am a huge RFK fan. I know people are like, he's not a doctor. You know what? Look back. A lot of them aren't.
Right, exactly.
A lot of them aren't.
Yeah.
I do think he has the right momentum. I do think he wants to, we've never been sicker as a country.
Yeah.
We've never had more problems with our kids. We've never had such horrible food. Like the food we eat is terrible.
Yeah.
We have such a highly processed diet.
No, so we just went real quick. I told you we just went to Mexico.
Yeah.
We went, it's called OXXO. OXXO is like their 7-Eleven.
Okay. Basically
in Mexico. So me and my wife went in there because our older daughter is I call her a hippie because I'm being funny, but she's very into non-processed foods, which is smart. Obviously. Yeah, right. Yeah. She's into the right stuff. But I'm the kind of guy that eats whatever. But she always talked about how in America you can buy a product, let's say Doritos, and you get the same bag of Doritos in another country,
and they're plain,
and there's 4 ingredients in it, and America's got 46 ingredients in the same product. So when we were over there, we're like, let's grab some of this stuff and bring it back for my daughter and for us and stuff. So we have a whole bunch of it. We got a whole bunch of snack foods and stuff at the 7-Eleven over there, and it's literally 2 or 3 ingredients. Yeah. It's amazing.
Yeah.
And you're led to sitting there going, why is that? What is all this other stuff for? It seems like a waste of product. You're putting all this other stuff in there that doesn't need to be in there.
Because that's what makes it taste good. That's what this... Have you tasted...
They taste the same. That's what I don't understand. Yeah. It tastes like... We got Tostitos. We got Doritos.
It's lining the pockets of somebody. Monsanto and the FDA and all these... same thing. You go to Canada.
Yeah.
They have... Their food dyes are not red 40.
Yeah,
it's beets.
Yes, because that's what beets are for, because beets taste terrible. God gave us beets for coloring food.
I love beets.
I will pray for you.
I love beets. Yeah, you know, I know that RFK catches a lot of grief. Mm-hmm. I know that he does. And I know that he has some things he said that I don't agree with.
Right.
But overall, I think he's doing good. I think he is on the right path. I think we definitely need to clean up our foods. Glyphosate is killing everyone. Mm. You know, we spray all of our food with glyphosate. It's killing everyone. Is that like a pesticide? It's a pesticide that's sprayed on all of our wheat, our corn. Anything that's enriched or fortified is sprayed with glyphosate. Mm. Folic acid. Mm-hmm. Folic acid is not a natural ingredient.
Yeah.
Like, it's not something that occurs naturally. We spray all our food with that too.
Yeah.
It's folate, B9, that is natural. Mm-hmm. But they've got everybody believing that you need folic acid.
Yeah.
Well, folic acid is man-made.
Anything with acid, we shouldn't be eating. Acid is a word that describes something painful.
Right.
Why are we eating acid?
Right.
It doesn't make any sense.
We really, you know, you look at, I'm going to get controversial again here.
All right, let's do it.
You look at the 60s and 70s and even the early 80s. Mm-hmm. People going to the beach all the time. Everybody was in decent shape. We mm-hmm. didn't have the obesity culture that we have now. And people didn't wear sunscreen.
Yeah.
And did you hear of skin cancer very often?
No.
What happened? We started putting chemicals into our body.
Global warming.
And, okay, Al Gore.
I wish this was a video so they could see your face you just made when I said that.
Yeah.
That was awesome.
We put these chemicals on our body. Now we're baking them into our skin.
Right.
And look at the skin cancer problems. Yeah. Right?
It's like we're basting ourselves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Our food was different then. You know, we didn't. So as we've evolved, I'm going to use my air quotes here.
Yeah.
Those of you on listening, I'm air quoting. As we've evolved, I use the term loosely, we've gotten way less healthy. We've gotten way heavier as a population. Yeah. We've got way more medical problems. We're not as healthy as we've been. You know, we don't work out as much as we used to. Mm-hmm. You know, I work out 6 days a week. I'm probably one of the top 3% of people.
Yeah.
If you look at people overall, how many people can say they go work out during the day?
No,
Very few people.
No. I work out about once every 5 years. So.
Okay. Well, come to my class. I'll box with you. You know, I mean, I've got a guy who's 91 in my class, and he comes 3 days a week. He's exercising more than your average human, and he's 91 years old.
That's awesome.
Yeah. You know, and I wouldn't want to meet him in a dark alley. He's probably one of the, you know, in better shape than a lot of people, right? Awesome. And 91 with Parkinson's and COPD.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Korean War vet, fabulous man. But I think, and I hate the terms MAGA and MAHA and all that garbage, but making America healthy again, I really think needs to be a priority.
Oh, I'm with you, yeah.
Absolutely. You know, I'm a nutritionist, and I got that so that because I did so much reading, you know, I just did it 2 years ago because I finally got to the point where I was like, I'm talking about all this stuff. I'm talking about all these neurological conditions. I'm talking about the foods you need to eat to make it healthy, but I have nothing behind me that says I kind of know what I'm talking about a little bit.
Sure.
I mean, like I said, I'm not a doctor, nor do I play with on TV. You don't have
credentials, but you have knowledge.
You know, I don't have, I have CN behind my name, certified nutritionist, right? I don't have, you know, an MD or anything like that, but I have taken the coursework to give myself that certification, right? Yeah. So I can talk to my people and go speak at events that say, hey, your diet is critical to your brain health. Yeah. Right? We are the highest Alzheimer's. We're the highest dementia. They're calling that type 3 diabetes for a reason. You know, our brain health is not what it should be. Yeah. Our brain health is not what we want going forward. We have so many issues with that.
So you think that's directly tied to like gut health?
Absolutely. Okay. Gut health and diet.
Yeah.
100%.
Okay.
Yeah, and heavy metals.
Yeah.
And heavy metals.
There you go again, hating on heavy metal.
Yeah, I just don't like heavy metals all the way around. I mean, well, you think about all the heavy metals in the vaccines again. Tie it back to the vaccines.
Right. Well, even vaccines, like when we were kids, you look at those same vaccines now.
Yeah, they might have mercury in them, but they got thimerosal. They might have, no, they did. They had mercury in them when we were kids.
I bet.
But and you know, we had all had mercury fillings. You know.
Oh yeah.
I had all my mercury fillings taken out.
Oh, you did?
I did because my teeth were cracking.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So I'd had them in for so long that my teeth were all cracking. And so I was like, you know what? Fix it all.
Yeah.
But I had all the mercury taken out. But yeah, I think that I really like where he's going with stuff. I don't agree with him on everything, but I think overall he's doing a good job. And as a person, I like that he's healthy. I like that he takes care of himself. I like that he prioritizes working out and eating healthy. And to me, that's a good example.
Yeah.
We haven't always had a good example in that role. And for me, that's a good example. Like I always tell people, they're always like, oh, you're in such good shape. Well, yeah, I'm a trainer. I don't want to be in worse shape than my people.
Right.
I want people to look up to me as an example and work as hard as I do.
Right.
Like when you hold certain roles, you need to be, you know, the look of that role.
Sure. Yeah.
Right. So I need to eat healthy. And that doesn't mean I don't have the occasional cookie and I don't drink a soda.
Right.
Because I'm human.
Yeah.
Right.
What's your go-to soda?
Coke.
Regular Coke?
Oh,
straight
yeah.
up?
Straight Coke.
Not cherry Coke, at least?
I'll drink cherry Coke.
Okay.
I'll drink vanilla.
Okay.
Actually, I made a really good, side note. I made a really good, I have all these nutrition sites that I follow on Instagram, and I'm kind of a foodie, but I have a lot of food issues. I'm a celiac and I don't eat wheat, and I don't eat a lot of foods because I've got bad allergies, but I love food. Like if I didn't work out like I do, I would definitely have a weight problem because I just love food.
Yeah.
But I was looking at this Instagram reel came up, and it was a dirty Thanksgiving Coke soda, right? It had.
Where they put turkey in it?
No, it had raspberry.
Okay.
So you put a little bit of raspberry syrup, and then you put the Coke in there.
Okay.
And then you make a topping, and it was half and half raspberry and a splash of vanilla, and you froth it up and you pour it in there, and it's Oh my gosh, it was called a dirty raspberry soda. It was so good. I tested it out yesterday because I want to serve it at Thanksgiving, even though it's totally naughty.
Just tell people it's a new health drink.
Oh my god, it was so good. Yeah. It was so good.
I bet.
So I love flavored.
Yeah, and I love cream.
Coca-Cola is my thing. I love Coke, but I used to drink one a day, and then I learned how bad, then I got wiser. When you know better, you do better.
What's your like the one dessert that you would go to? Like, what's your favorite? Like, for someone that probably doesn't eat a lot of sweets, like what's your one thing? Like, it's my birthday, I'm eating this today, or whatever.
I'm not a huge cake person.
I am not either. I like pie on my birthday.
Trader Joe's makes a really good gluten-free chocolate chip cookie that I will eat occasionally. Okay. I love sea salt caramel.
Oh, yeah.
I love sea salt caramel. Yeah. I can eat a caramel every day. I don't, but I could.
Right.
So honestly, if somebody says, hey, it's your birthday, let's go out and do something special, I will have a glass of whiskey.
Okay, that's the party celebration. Okay.
I would much rather have a glass of whiskey.
Okay.
Or an old fashioned than a dessert.
Okay. And can you tell the difference? We were just talking about this on the cruise again, between like Tennessee whiskey and non-Tennessee whiskey. You can. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. I'm not a fan of Irish whiskey.
Okay.
I do like Tennessee whiskey.
Okay.
I love the Redneck Riviera.
Yeah.
Such a great whiskey.
That's the John Rich.
That's John Rich. He's got an apple one that I love.
Okay.
I'm not a fan of Crown. I don't like Canadian whiskey. However, that being said, I love their apple whiskey.
Okay.
Love it. It's my favorite whiskey.
Does it taste like apple?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
And if you take the apple whiskey that they make and a little bit of the caramel whiskey that they make and you splash it up together, it's like a caramel apple.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So if I'm going to have a treat,
that's it.
It's going to be, a drink.
That's like a dessert and an alcoholic drink at the same time.
Yeah, because I don't drink a whole lot, so it's a treat for me to do something like that.
So what are your thoughts on, so we talk about like America needs to get healthy again, go to dieting, but like, or even not dieting.
Not dieting.
Okay, that's what I was going to get to.
That's a bad word.
You're right.
That's like the D word.
Right. That's kind of the point I was going to make. Is like for now, it depends on what year it is. It's like, don't eat this. This is bad. Carbs, no carbs, or whatever. All this stuff.
Your body needs carbs. Your brain needs carbs.
So the problem is, I think that it's all the crap we've been putting in the food. It's not the food itself. Like if we could get back to pure regular food, eating a cheeseburger isn't bad. Right? It's because of all the processed garbage that goes into it.
It's because the bun is sprayed. The ingredients that are made for the bun is sprayed with glyphosate, and it's got folic acid, and it's got all this stuff that your body can't process, especially if, like 40% of the population has an MTHFR gene mutation. Well, we can't process those things.
Right.
We just can't.
Yeah.
Like the burger itself is not bad. It's all the stuff that goes into the bun, really, because the meat is probably fine.
Yeah.
You know,
I don't know.
So there's there's that too. But you know what I mean? Like if you're going to a high end, I mean, sure. McDonald's is not good. We're not talking McDonald's or Carl's Jr. or Wendy's or any of those places.
Oh, let's not badmouth Wendy's.
Although Wendy's says they're 100% beef, but I still call
and they're in a square.
And I still call a little BS on that.
Yeah, you think so?
Well,
but they have to be 100% beef because they're in a square shape.
Oh, that's what makes it 100% beef.
Yes, it's the round ones that are the non.
For sure, then duly noted.
Yeah.
You know, I think that because we've gotten away from pure foods, you know, our salad dressings aren't just oil and vinegar anymore. Yeah. They're a bunch of seed oils and garbage and
ranch.
Well,
Hidden Valley.
Yeah, if ranch was milk and seasoning mixed together, it would be fine, but it's not.
And mayonnaise.
Mayonnaise is eggs.
Yeah.
So you can make your own mayonnaise. You can make it mayonnaise.
Yeah. Probably doesn't taste as good as Best Foods, though.
Well, nothing tastes as good as Best Foods. We can't be friends if you don't think that.
I love mayonnaise so much, man.
So does my husband. He can eat it by the spoonful.
Yes.
Oh, my gosh.
I like this guy.
Yeah,
I can't. Don't even know him, but I like him.
I like mayonnaise.
Yeah.
But I cannot do it by he just squirts it on the plate and then dips stuff in.
Yeah,
I'm like,
see?
I can't do
I do that too. My wife thinks I'm gross, but I don't know. I don't know what her deal is. I'll put it on broccoli, green beans. I'll put it on everything.
Oh, yeah. My brother-in-law does that. He puts it on everything like that. Yeah. My husband will mix up mayonnaise and ketchup and do the deal.
Oh, make the special sauce.
But just mayonnaise and ketchup. Like no extra seasoning. No relish. Oh, no. He can't stand pickles.
Oh, okay.
I'm the pickle lover in the house.
Okay.
I'm the one who likes pickles.
Do you like pickle-flavored stuff like chips and stuff?
Yes.
Yeah. So good.
Yes.
I love it.
Pickles and olives. I could live off them.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. No, I think, Yeah. I think we're headed in the right direction. It's just going to take us a really long time to get there. Well,
and speaking of that, this is the last thing I want to come back to in politics. With RFK, like, again, when Trump was putting together his cabinet, you got RFK giving his kind of his speech about how we're going to go after big pharma. It's been far too long. They're doing all these things and putting all this crap in our food and our obesity, all the stuff you just talked about, right? But it's been, 10 months? And I feel like of all the cabinet guys, they all came in and he seemed to be big time, but like, what's he been doing?
Well, he's pulled some of the dyes out.
Has he?
Pulled some of the,
Okay.
So they have a timeline to be able to do it. So like some of them have till 2026 to do it. So, so it's
a slow process.
Because they can't just pull it out overnight because now they've got all this stuff out there, right? So,
yeah, which makes sense because you don't want them to lose all this money.
Coca-Cola is pulling out the high fructose corn syrup. Like there's some things that are happening. Yeah, there's some things that are happening. But it takes time. So, like he's come out with a bunch of vaccine stuff. He came out, there was something the CDC came out with yesterday linking, with the vaccine and autism report. And, they've come out with that. So I think that things are happening. I don't think stuff can happen overnight.
Okay.
And from the stuff I've seen and read, I don't think that he hasn't been doing anything. I think that he has been doing some stuff. Yeah. So there's some things that I think we're going to start seeing in 2026 that these companies have already agreed to do.
And that's a good point. I mean, I guess it's a slower process.
I mean, you have to think it's been 10 months, but it's only been 10 months.
Right. But like when you compare it to some of the other things, like the border czar guy, like he came in.
Yeah, but he didn't have a choice. He had to close that border immediately.
Sure.
There was a big difference between that and us eating a box of Fruit Loops with red dye 40 instead of beet juice.
Right. I don't know if I would eat Fruit Loops with beet juice.
You're going to.
Am I going to?
You're going to, and you're going to like it.
Maybe I will. I don't know.
I mean, you probably brought some back from Mexico.
We didn't get Fruit Loops.
Oh.
We might have brought back stuff without Red 40, I'm sure.
Oh, yeah. Well, if you brought back Doritos,
we did.
They took the Red 40 out.
Okay. There's Red 40 in Doritos?
Well, they make it orange somehow. I mean, I'm not sure. I need to look at the ingredients.
That'd be orange 40, wouldn't it be? I mean,
well, they don't.
It'd be Red 40 mixed with yellow 40 and it'd make orange 40.
There you go. It probably has a red dye and a yellow dye in there.
Yeah.
But, I have a son with ADHD, and I notice when he eats better, his symptoms are better. Right? So when he doesn't have a bunch of soda and candy and garbage, but he's 16, he's going to do stuff.
Good luck with that.
But when I had 100% control of his diet, he did better.
Right.
And it was because of the dyes, I think. I think the dyes contribute to a lot of things.
Yeah, there's been a lot of studies on that. Mm-hmm. So, I think there's definitely some truth there.
Yeah. So. I mean, I think, food definitely influences our body, and our guts definitely influence everything. Yeah. I think everything is a matter of our guts.
Yeah. They call it biome or bio.
The gut biome.
Biome, yeah. So why do you think, though, that, like, if beets are in existence, they've been there forever, as we already discussed, that the only thing they're good for is coloring stuff. So why haven't we just used that? So why haven't we just used that? Why are they using red 40? Is it cheaper?
Because there's money in it, and it's probably cheaper.
It's cheaper.
You don't have to grow the beets to get the color out.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm sure it's cheaper. It's a chemical.
Yeah.
I'm sure it's cheaper.
But it's got to be easy to get beets because people have just been throwing those out for years. All you got to do is go
eat them.
Yeah, just go to any trash can. You can probably find plenty of beets.
Oh my God. Do you not go to Jocko's and get the salad with the beet on top?
I get nothing with beets. I cannot.
You're weird.
I have tried. And listen, I try everything. I ate a snail on the cruise. Okay? I will try anything once when it comes to food. And I have actually tried beets multiple times because we'll go to potlucks and some old lady's like,
have you had them roasted?
Oh, you got to try my beet salad. It's really good. And it's like, nope, still tastes like dirt. You got to take the dirt out in order for me to like it. See?
Have you had them pickled?
Yes.
And you don't like
it? Tastes like pickled dirt. I like pickles. I'm all about pickles. I like pickled lots of stuff, right? Pickled eggs.
I can open a can of pickled beets and just eat them with a fork.
See, there's something wrong with you.
Well, yes. Okay, how far are we into this? People have figured out by now that there's a lot wrong with me. We're 2.5 hours into this.
Yes, they know that by now.
They figured it out.
Okay, gotcha. Yes.
The fact that I like beets should be...
Yeah. But see, okay, but here's another one is Brussels sprouts.
I like Brussels sprouts.
I love them now. Like, I hated Brussels sprouts because every time I had them, you get to the center and they're just bitter as all get out.
No, you have to roast them till they're brown.
You got to do something, but then when my bacon helps
and coconut
but
oil.
It's literally just the way you cook them can be.
Yes.
So my son-in-law, I told him this when we first. Oh man, he's all I'm going to bring Brussels sprouts for Thanksgiving. I was like, dude, don't bring the Brussels. Dude, bring something good, you know. He's like, no, you haven't had mine yet. I said, no. Everybody's told me this story before, and they're terrible. He goes, no, just try mine when I bring them. They were fantastic. Mm-hmm. I said, these are great. Now when we go to restaurants and stuff, and they have like the roasted Brussels sprouts as an appetizer.
Mason Bar has the best Brussels sprouts
ever. Do they really?
Ever.
Where's that?
Up in Arroyo Grande on Grand.
Okay.
It's on Mason Street and Grand. Mason and Grand, the corner.
Mason and Grand, okay.
They have the most fabulous Brussels sprouts I've ever had at a restaurant. Oh, they have this little drizzle they put on them, and
like
they have
a balsamic drizzle?
No, it's like a white goat cheese drizzle.
Ooh.
Oh my God, it's so...
Oh man!
When we would do girls' nights years ago, I don't do them a whole lot anymore because I don't go out much. But we would go up there just to get the Brussels sprouts.
Okay,
they're so good.
Oh, I'm already sold.
Yeah, you gotta take your. It's a date night place.
It's a date night place.
Yeah, so take your wife up there.
Okay.
Or we'll go with you if you want.
Yeah, double date.
You would like my husband.
I already do. He likes mayonnaise.
Yeah, he likes mayonnaise, right? Yeah, go up there and get the Brussels sprout appetizers and eat that as your appetizer.
Okay.
Delicious.
What other food do they have? Like what kind of food place is it?
They have a lot of American food.
Kind of like in everything.
Lobster corn dogs that are delicious.
Lobster corn dogs?
Oh yeah, it's like a chunk of lobster and a corn dog.
Shut up.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
With this sauce you dip. Oh.
How have I never been here?
You're living under a rock apparently.
Is this a new place?
No. It's been there since before I moved back.
Mason Bar.
Mason, M-A-S-O-N bar. It's on Mason and Grand.
Oh my gosh.
So you get off on Grand, take a right, go down to the end, it's on the left.
Holy moly.
That's delicious.
Dang it.
And they make their own whiskey, so yummy.
Okay.
Right. If you like whiskey, they make an amazing whiskey sour with egg whites.
Dang it.
Yeah, it's good.
Okay, I'm on that one.
Take your wife out.
We're going.
Yeah.
We're doing it.
Fun bar.
Yeah. Okay.
Great restaurant.
All right, cool. Okay, that's it for that section. That was fun. You got through politics. You made it.
Probably only offended half the people.
We probably could have went down lots of more roads there, I'm sure. So now we're going to spirituality. If you need a break, we can take one. If not, we can keep trucking. Yeah. Okay. All right. So you mentioned that you are a believer.
Yes.
In what? Like, what does that mean? Walk me through that. What's your beliefs on God?
I believe in Jesus. And
in Jesus.
All that.
You consider yourself a Christian?
I consider myself a Christian.
Okay.
I'm very private about my beliefs.
Okay.
I don't like when people push stuff on me, and I don't push anything on people.
Okay.
I'm not somebody who talks about it a lot.
You probably shouldn't go on a podcast and talk about it.
I probably shouldn't go on I know, when you sent me the list of things you talk about, I called our mutual friend Dan Pancrantz.
Oh, nice.
Because, he married us.
Oh, you know Dan too?
Oh, yeah, he married my husband and I love Dan.
Oh, cool.
I've known Dan forever.
He did an episode with me.
I know.
Oh, okay.
He told me about you.
Yeah.
Because he sent me the link. He's like, oh, you got to listen to my podcast with
nice.
Ryan. And I was like, okay, who's this Ryan guy? And So I listened to the whole thing. His was almost 4 hours.
Yeah, it was long.
So I listened to the whole thing.
One, yeah.
And, Dan I love Dan.
Yeah, he's awesome.
He was so funny when he married us, and he just is a good guy. I love him and I love his wife. They're both just great people.
Yeah.
And I met Dan, long ago. I've probably known him 10 years, but after I moved back, and then we would go to school board meetings together during COVID and stuff like that.
Well, he went to Rigetti with you too. He came after you graduated.
He's younger.
You're right.
Yeah, he's younger
my
than
age.
me. Yeah.
So he would have came, but he came like sophomore, junior year in high school. So you already graduated.
I had already graduated.
Because I was a freshman, you were a senior. So
yeah.
If you graduated in 93.
I graduated in 93. Yeah. So, so I called Dan and I was like, how deep is he going to get with this religion thing? Because I don't really talk about. Like, I can talk about politics, I can talk about music, I can talk about what I do for a living, I can talk about a lot of things.
You got a lot, though, if your grandfather was a pastor.
Yeah, so I was raised very religious.
Okay.
My grandfather was a pastor, my dad's dad.
Okay.
We went to his church every Sunday. It was the thing we did.
Yeah.
He started out with a bigger congregation, and then as he got older, he built this room on the back of his house, and we had church in the back of his house, and there was probably about 20 of us.
Okay.
The only kids were my siblings and I and my 2 cousins, and then my uncle had a couple of kids, and so then there was a couple more cousins until junior high or so. And then I met my girlfriend Denise, and she was going to Calvary Chapel, so I started going to the youth group with her.
Okay.
And
that's where we go now.
Then in junior high I started going to a youth group at Calvary, and did that all through high school. Well, then I moved away.
Yeah.
And when I moved to Seattle, I didn't know anybody, and I had been there a couple of months. And my aunt and uncle, my aunt is my dad's sister, so her dad was the pastor.
Okay.
So I moved in with them, and I'd been there a couple of months, and I really wasn't making any friends. And there was a couple of mega churches there, and they just dropped me off at one of them said, "There's a singles group tonight. So 18 to 24.
Okay.
We'll pick you up in 2 hours." And I was like, "Wait, what?"
A singles group, like single, like...
Yeah, like single people, 18 to 24,
so it's
young
like
adults.
A Bible study /
it was like
eHarmony.
It was like a youth group. No, it was just like a youth group, but it was for kids 18 to 24.
Okay.
And I forget what they even called it now. Gosh, it's been so long. So they walked me in, and they're like, "She's new and she needs some friends." And I was like, here I am at this 8,000 person mega church near Seattle in Kirkland, Washington.
Okay.
And I'm at this group, and there's probably 150 people, 100 people there, 125.
And they put the spotlight on you as the new kid.
Well, so I meet this girl, and this girl, and she's like, "Oh, come in, I'll introduce you around, blah, blah, blah." Mm-hmm. So at the end of the sermon and the night, they said, "Is anybody here for the first time?" So I bravely raised my hand. Right, I was very shy. When I was younger, I was very shy. I never would have done anything like this. I never would have spoken out about anything I believed in. I just never.
Yeah.
So I bravely raised my hand and stood up, and I said, "Oh, I'm April, And they're like, "Where are you from?" And I said, "Santa Maria, California, and I just moved here 2 months ago." Mm. So I sit back down, they go around the room, and there was 3 or 4 other people there. At the end of the night, this girl walks up to me and she goes, "I'm from Santa Barbara."
Oh, no way.
And I said, "No way." Well, her sister lived across the street from my mom.
Oh, crazy.
Several years later. We didn't know this until
Weird.
Yeah. So anyway, small world. I'm telling you, small world. So I met her and her 2 girlfriends, and I'm still friends with them to this day.
Yeah.
So I sort of met some friends and was going to this youth group for a long time, and going to this church, and I really enjoyed it. I really did a lot of fun things with this group, and really had a great time.
Yeah.
When I got married the first time, my then husband was a little different religion than I was. He's Reorganized Latter-day Saints.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Reorganized
Latter-day Saints, so not Mormon.
Interesting.
Yeah, so that's church is now called Community of Christ, and it's very different than the beliefs I was raised with. Mm-hmm. So I called my grandpa, and I was like, "Grandpa, is this okay?" He's like, "Yeah, I have a friend that's a pastor in that church. You're good. You can." Because I was always raised that you marry within your religion.
Yeah, unequally yoked. Right?
Yeah, you don't want to be unequally yoked. Yeah. My parents were very strict on that, right? Mm-hmm. So I talked to my parents, I talked to my grandfather, and they were like, "Yeah, you're fine." So we get married, and I had told him, I don't want to go to your church, right? I went a couple times. It wasn't a service I enjoyed. It was just something I didn't feel drawn to it.
Yeah.
So we started church hopping. So we ended up at church with some friends of ours, and I really liked it. And we could walk to it. It was like within walking distance of our house.
And was he okay with going to a different church? Okay.
Yeah, he was fine. He didn't, He wasn't really hook, line, and sinker into any church anyway. And we had just decided, let's try something different, So we'd gone to this church, and they had a Bible study or whatever that I joined. And at one point towards the end of that, they singled me out. And for lack of a better term, kind of attacked me. And, I had been saved, I had been baptized, I had been all these things, but they were like, you need to repent, you need to accept Christ, you need to do all these things. They really all of them. I was sitting on a couch, and all of them got, and they came up around me and stuff. It was like a bad movie. Yeah. And I just sat there, and I've blocked out so much of what I can remember where I was and what the room looked like and what the people, but so much of what they said and what happened, it's like I went black. And I left there that night, and it's so funny. When I was driving there that night, I thought, I feel like I shouldn't go tonight. And I think that was God trying to tell me something, and I didn't listen.
Could have been, yeah.
But because I went, obviously.
Right.
And so when I left there, and I'm going to try not to get emotional, but...
Yeah. Emotion's okay on here.
Yeah.
Totally okay.
When I left there, I went home, and I told my then husband, what happened. And I was like... I don't think I can go back.
Right.
So I
don't blame you.
Yeah. I called my grandpa, and I talked to him, and he goes, you need to write them a letter. You need to tell them how bad they hurt you. He always had this saying that a church is like a hospital. It's a place you go to be healed, not hurt.
Right.
And there's absolutely 100% truth to that. I don't care who you are.
Yeah.
If church is hurting you, you shouldn't go. So I wrote a letter, and I sent it. I sent it to the pastor, the assistant pastor, the head of that group. And so I sent four letters. I can't remember who else. And I think the lady that it was her house that we were at. So what do you call that? The lady that hosted it? Yeah. I never heard back from them.
None of them responded.
Nope. Nobody ever responded to me. Nobody ever called me. I even ran into them in a restaurant one time, and they looked the other way.
They wouldn't even talk to you.
They would not even acknowledge me.
See, that's cult. That's cult status.
My view of organized religion at that point changed drastically.
Okay.
Drastically.
Right.
Fast forward to, we have a couple kids, and my kids are getting ready for preschool. Well, we lived in an area called Mill Creek up there in Washington, and there was a church there that was kind of a bigger church. It had about 3,000 or 4,000 people, but they had an amazing preschool.
Okay.
Their preschool was amazing. So I said to the boys' dad, I said, let's go try out the church, because I really want to put the kids at the preschool. So we started going to the church, and I put the kids at the preschool, and it totally turned me around. The church was great. The people were amazing. We were welcomed. Okay. I never felt uncomfortable.
Yeah.
I ended up being head room mom for the entire preschool. I worked there a couple days a week, volunteering. I did all these things. We were very involved in that church. And I really enjoyed the pastor. He was very good. He took everyday things and turn them into something amazing that you could use in your life. He would take a section of the Bible and apply it to your life.
Yeah, practical.
He would, very practical. He would take the number one song. He had this once a month. He would take the number one song on the radio. He would have the choir or whoever, somebody sing it. And then he would talk about how it relates in some way to something in the Bible and how you can apply that song.
The number one song on the Christian radio?
No.
Just secular radio. Okay.
Secular radio.
Interesting.
And I loved going to those sermons because as we discussed, I love music, right? So to hear how he interpreted that song for my life was very fascinating to me. This guy was a great pastor. Yeah. I still follow him on social media. Okay. We would have never left that church had we not moved back here.
Does he still have a big
he still has a church
person following on there? Okay.
Yeah. So great church. The people there were wonderful. So it turned my view around. You know, it helped heal me.
Right.
Right?
Right.
Because, sorry.
You're fine.
Because it was painful after all I had been through growing up.
Right.
Right? I had been in a very loving situation with my parents being Christians, my grandfather having a church. I was a little bit naive. I grew up under a rock in a lot of ways.
Sure.
So it was a lot from that when that happened. So being able to heal from that was helpful, right?
Yeah.
I'm still not a huge fan of organized religion.
Sure.
My husband and I do not go to church.
Yeah. You know who else wasn't a fan of organized religion? Jesus.
Yeah. I know. You know, my brother-in-law's a pastor. We will go to his church occasionally. We've been a couple of times to his church. He has a church here in Santa Maria. Oh. You know, so I understand why it all exists, and I believe that for some people that's what they need.
Right.
For me, I don't need that.
Sure.
I can talk to God anytime I want.
Yeah.
I can choose to live my life in a way that honors Him without having to display it for the world, without having to go to church, without having to do that stuff. And I understand that there's people who need that. You know, when I say I'll pray for somebody, I genuinely mean it.
Sure.
I don't say it very often. When I do say it, I mean it.
Sure.
Right?
It's not superficial.
It's not superficial. If I say I'm going to say a prayer for you, I will say a prayer for you.
Yeah.
But I am not somebody who prays out loud. I am not somebody who is open about a lot of things. It's painful.
Yeah. Yeah. So the thing that makes me sad about all that kind of stuff is that there's so many people like you that because of all that, they turn their back on Jesus.
Right.
Because they look at the actions of people who are claiming to be followers of Christ, yet are acting not in accordance with Christ.
Right.
And people lump the two together and they say, no, that's Christianity. It's like, no, that's not Christianity. That's
a human mistake.
Yes, that's
a
these
human
people.
thing.
It's no different than, and I'm not Catholic, but it's no different than the people that say, oh, I'm not a Catholic because Catholic priests molest little kids. I was like, well, you show me anywhere in Catholic doctrine where it says that the priests are supposed to molest. So your beef is not with Catholicism in that case. Your beef is with these idiotic men, these evil, disgusting men who are using their power for the wrong thing.
Correct.
Jesus isn't happy with what they're doing.
No.
Catholicism isn't condoning what they're doing, right? So, yeah, and that's the sad thing. So I'm glad that you at least came back to the Lord, let alone the people involved. You know?
I don't think I ever left that.
Sure.
I may have taken a little break. And, you know, for a long time I questioned things. I was like, okay, show me.
Right.
Show me where this really happened, or show me that there's but I think that's normal. I think whether something happens to you in an organized religion or happens to you religiously, I think a lot of us go through a phase where we question, like, why do I believe this?
Sure.
Do I believe it because I was
healthy?
Yes, absolutely.
Yes,
do I believe this because I was told to believe this?
Yes.
Do I believe this because this is what I truly believe?
Yeah.
Do I, like, probably something that's controversial. I don't believe in hell.
You don't believe it exists at all?
I don't believe in a fiery hell with a devil. No. Yeah. I believe that hell is when you die, there's nothing.
Okay. Like annihilation.
It's no existence.
You just cease to exist?
Yep. It's no existence. You just are there.
Okay.
Like, you do not live your afterlife or anything. You're just there.
But you do believe in a heaven?
I believe in a heaven.
Okay.
I believe there is life after. There's too much. I mean, I guess there's evidence for both, but I don't believe that somebody. I believe, I don't believe that somebody's going down there and burning in fire.
Right.
I believe there is life after death, and whether you get that life after death or not depends upon how you live in life.
Okay, so you believe in like a heavenly place, but you don't believe everybody goes there.
No, I don't believe everybody goes there. Okay. I think everybody has the opportunity to go there.
Sure. Yeah.
Everybody has the opportunity to go there.
Yeah.
And there are angels and demons in the world, and there are good and bad people in the world.
Yeah, you've read the Prairie books. With this Present Darkness and all that's like kind of seeing the background stuff.
I've read those. I how, you know, and we all reconcile things differently in our head. And somebody else is probably going, she is crazy.
Yeah.
And that's okay.
Yeah.
You don't have to believe the same as me. I'm not going to ask you to, and I don't want you to ask me what you believe.
Right. Yeah.
Don't force it on me.
And here I am asking you what you believe. How dare me?
That's okay. I'll talk about it. It's just not something I do regularly.
Sure. You're not like out there evangelizing or trying to push it on people.
I don't feel that's what I was called to do.
Right.
That's not my calling in life.
Yeah.
You know, my sister is fabulous at it.
Oh, yeah?
She's a pastor's wife, and she's great.
Oh, okay.
She's very kind and compassionate and good at it.
Yeah.
That's not me.
Right.
And not that I'm not kind or compassionate, but that's not my calling.
Sure, and I think that's great. I mean, and I get sick and tired of people that making it sound like it's like this blanketed thing where, well, you're a Christian, therefore you need to be doing all these things. It's like, no, God doesn't use every single person for the same things, right? We all have different things that he uses us for. I'm not a big evangelist myself. You'll never see, well, I shouldn't say you'll never see me, because I've said that before. You'll never see me this. And then 10 years later, here I am doing something that I've never thought I'd be doing. But like, I'm not the kind of person who is going to tell every single person I know about Jesus.
Yeah.
I hold to the verse that says, be ready to give an answer to those that ask you.
Yeah.
So when someone comes up to me and says, hey, I noticed something different. Like, I want to know why you don't do life like a lot of people I know. And they ask me these questions. I'm like, okay, I see that as an open door.
Yeah.
All right, let's talk about it. Now, if I'm talking...
Why can't we talk about that?
Why can't we talk about that? And if we're discussing that and the people get malicious or they get angry or... I mean, I got to weigh it.
That's something that's on them, though.
It is. But I'm always I'm trying to be sensitive to not offending, because Jesus offended people with the truth too. I don't think it's wrong if the truth is offending, but you also have to be sensitive to where the Lord's going with it. Because sometimes you might be talking to somebody that is just not ready to hear that. And it's just it's gonna go nowhere. So you're gonna be spinning your wheels. That person's gonna be ticked off. They're gonna walk away. Maybe I did more damage than good with what I was saying in that moment. But then they might come to me 10 years later. Hey man, when you told me that 10 years ago, I was so angry and I told you this and I said your mom is ugly and I walked away or whatever. I got mad, threw something at you. But man, I've been thinking about that for 10 years. Yeah. You know, and now I'm ready to have this conversation. And it's like, oh, that's so cool. You know,
people come around.
Do it.
You never know. Life influences people in interesting ways. You know, and you never know what comment you make today might affect somebody later, which is why we have to be careful with our words.
Bingo.
You know, it's why I like to think about what I'm saying before I say it. Yeah. You know, it's why. You know, it's why, you know, so many of these people in the political world and the religious world don't think before they open their mouth, you know, and why I think people have to be open-minded, because, you know, you and I don't get along, but that doesn't mean I don't like you, or that doesn't mean I think you're wrong. It means that we're going to have to agree to disagree, and all kinds make the world go round. If we were all Christian, think about how boring the world would be. Yeah. If we were all, you know, I mean... And of course, there's different denominations within Christians. You know, my grandfather was ordained 4 different times with different denominations. Oh, wow. You know, so he went through different phases when he was preaching, you know, so there's lots of different denominations and sects within a religion. Sure. You know, now, are there some religions who have some questionable things going on? Oh, for sure. Definitely. Yeah. Are there some Christians that are so extreme that we can question some of the stuff they're doing? Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. Every group of people you look at, whether it's religious or cultural, has extremes on both ends. Sure. And that brings me to the next question. Oh boy. Which is, so the same with like politics, when we were talking about like when we look at news sources and different saying like, and we weigh this, we look at this, we research, we do all this, and we try to come to what we see as a truth. So when you're looking at religions and denominations and this pastor says this priest says this, whatever, what do you like? Where do you go for truth? Like, do you hold to scripture as being like? You know, honestly, I don't follow religion like I used to. Okay. But you believe in Jesus. I believe in Jesus. I believe that's very personal for me. Okay. I typically, you know, there are things in the Bible that I agree with and that I don't agree with. Okay. You know, are there is that the end all be all? Some people live and die by the word.
Sure.
I have people in my family that live and die by the word. Then there's letter of the law versus spirit of the law.
Right.
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 Thou shalt not kill. Yeah. Let's do that. Let's not go against that. Right.
Yeah.
There's a couple of pastors I follow. Some are controversial, and I just to follow them to see, because I like to know what's going on in the world.
Sure.
And some are very simple. I've got some friends that are pastors. My brother-in-law's a pastor. I get his stuff on social media.
Okay.
I wouldn't say that I'm in that world as much as a lot of other people. I keep it very, very close. I keep it very close.
But what would be your reason for believing in Jesus as opposed to Krishna or even being Mormon or being Jehovah's Witness, or why are you kind of staying within the Protestant, right, Christian God? Why do you hold to that as opposed to other? I mean, my point is, you obviously have strong convictions in there somewhere.
Yeah, I mean, I think it goes back to how I was raised.
Okay.
And I have done a lot of reading on other religions. And it's just not how I align best with my values or what I believe. I always tend to go back to, I've attended several different churches, over the years with friends or whatever.
Sure.
I never,
Sure.
But it's even with different denominations. There's different denominations that I've been to that I didn't enjoy as much as others. So, and I don't want to bash anyone church or anyone denomination or anything like that. Just it wasn't where I felt the most comfortable.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, especially when you're dealing with Protestantism and you have the basic core beliefs, no matter what denomination, are the same, right? Usually the things that are differences aren't huge differences, the differences between Buddhism and Christianity. Those are ginormous differences, right? But you go to a Methodist versus a Presbyterian or a Baptist versus a Lutheran or whatever. It's there's differences, but they agree on all the core issues.
Well, and
right?
I think you have to feel comfortable with what's being taught to you, and or what you're taking in and the people around you, and you have to be comfortable with that stuff. I'm not a person that is gonna speak tongues and dance in the aisle. Right. I'm just not.
Right.
And that's not where I'm comfortable, because I keep my religion close. I want to be able to go to a church service, get something out of it, enjoy it,
right,
and take it in, and it's for me.
Okay.
I don't need to go out there and preach it to the world. I don't even pray out loud at home.
Right.
I'm not, that's not who I am. That's not my personality.
Yeah.
I defer that to Mama.
Yeah.
My mama is the one that, my mom,
Which is fine, because the Lord can hear your thoughts anyway. So
yeah. I mean, if I need to have a conversation, we have a conversation, and you get, I really think that, like I said, I didn't listen to my gut feeling that night going to that group. I really think that was the Lord. I really think a lot of times the guts feelings that we have, or that I have, I'm not going to speak for anybody else. But I think that sometimes my gut feeling is God saying, whoa, April.
Yeah.
Either shut your mouth, right? Or, or you don't go there.
Sure.
There's a reason that we were given that, and for me, I think that it's a lot of times God saying,
yeah.
And the times I haven't listened.
Yeah. Well, that's how we learn, is in hindsight usually, right? Because we might still make the bad decision or go to the place we're not supposed to. And it's not like God's up there like some maniacal devil. It's ha, burn, you fool. You didn't do what I told you to do. No, that's not the way he works. His purpose is to teach us. Exactly. It's exactly like parenting.
And he's not our friend.
Right.
Which is why we need to not be the friends to our children.
I agree. And I agreed with that when you said that, by the way. Yeah, because, you see way too much of that now.
Oh, yeah.
You shouldn't be, you don't have to necessarily be like the iron fist.
Like some of our parents were?
Right. Yes, uphold the rules, but you can do it in a way that
kids need boundaries.
Will still love you, of course.
Humans need boundaries.
Yes.
We all need boundaries.
Yes.
And whether those boundaries come from your convictions with religion or or your guidance from the law, right? Why do we have laws? Because we need boundaries. Right. Otherwise, we'd be a willy-nilly civilization. Who needs to live like that, right?
Yep.
So I think that when it comes to, there's a lot of people that love the boundaries of religion and love the I don't know, sphere it has of influence, on that stuff. So
So out of curiosity, when you go to a church service and let's say the pastor teaches something that you think to yourself, ooh, I don't know about that, or I don't like that, or that's not giving me what I'm looking for here, right? So how do you personally, how do you know if what he's saying is true or not? Because you would agree, sometimes, even with our kids and parenting, we're going to say stuff to our kids that does not make them happy.
Of course.
But we know as their parents that that's the right thing to do.
Right.
They might hate us for it. They might be mad and crying and angry and jumping out the window and running away and all kinds of other stuff, right? Same way the way we were as kids. What do you mean I can't go to John's house? I'm going over there. No, you're grounded. What? So angry. But looking back in hindsight, I'm like, I'm glad they grounded me. Because John's house, all my friends were doing drugs and drinking over there, and they all got arrested that night, right? So you can look back in hindsight and be like, oh, thank you, my parents, for being such good parents.
Yeah.
So, kind of comparing that to, a church setting, what's your litmus? What do you compare that to? You say, ooh, I don't like what he said.
I think that there's a lot of things you can agree to disagree on.
Okay.
I think when you go to church, if you've chosen a church because you like the pastor and the people and the way the church services run, there's going to be things you don't want to hear. Just like with my kids. So I don't think you can be like, oh, I don't like what he said and never go back. Right? I think that there's always things that are going to give us convictions.
Yes.
And that doesn't necessarily happen just in church.
Sure.
There's people that are going to give us convictions. There's situations that are going to give us convictions. There's lots of things that can happen. So I think that when you we have a church here in town that we really like to go to, and we go Christmas Eve, and we've gone occasionally. Yeah. And my husband and I have actually talked about going back there, or there's a couple other churches that he wants to try out. We've been invited to a couple, and we've discussed it. And the one we really like, I really enjoy the pastor, but he doesn't always say what I agree with.
Sure.
Because he's interpreting things as best he knows how to, right? He's trying to live and preach the gospel in the way that he sees it. And even different pastors, I didn't agree with everything my grandpa said.
Right.
But that doesn't mean that I was going to stop going to his church, because so I think sometimes there's things that we need to hear, and even if we don't want to hear it in that moment, maybe we'll go, light bulb. Couple weeks later, like you're saying, 10 years later, whatever. Oh, I heard this sermon this one time, and oh my gosh, now that's coming full circle. Now I understand why I needed to hear that.
Right.
So you never know. There's so many things that influence us that you can take it in and be like, yeah, that's not for me, but thank you for educating me, or thank you for So you can hear that stuff in church and be okay. It doesn't mean you have to hate the church you're going to. And,
Yeah, and for me, that's why, I guess to back up a little bit, for me, I didn't become a Christian until I was 24. And not only that, I hated Christians before that. Hated them. I hated their narrow-minded, we got the only way, blah, 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 all this kind of stuff. Yeah, whatever. And I kind of grew up in that kind of the punk rock mindset of forget authority and religion and, all this kind of stuff. And I always believed in God. I was never an atheist at any point in my life. But the God I believed in was kind of like this magical genie who blessed whatever I wanted to do. And there was really no rules.
He kept you safe, didn't he?
Yeah, right. Yeah, exactly. And, it wasn't until he kind of literally interfered in my life and basically said, hey, that God you believe in is not me. Right. And I kind of because how do you become what you hate? Right. That's kind of my salvation story, is I became what I hated. Oh, Ryan's a Christian? What? What? Of all the religions for you to join, you join the one that you hated so much. It's hey, I don't know what to tell you, man. It's true,
But that happens a lot.
It does. It's almost as if God knows what he's doing, almost as if, but for me now, where I'm at, however many years later, like this is why, and you said before how you worded like kind of living and dying on the scriptures, or you worded it a certain way. I don't know if I would word it that way for myself, but I definitely think to me, it's the thing that it's the tangible thing I can compare stuff to. I can say, this pastor teaches this, but is that what the Bible says? Yeah. Or even, I believe this. I think this is great. Oh, wait, well, what does the Bible say? And like, I kind of have to look and say, who am I going to trust? And then just through a lot of, research, for lack of a better term, of kind of looking into, because I've been a skeptic my whole life. Mm-hmm. So when people throw this stuff at me, well, how do you know the Bible's true? Or how do you know Christianity's right? How do you know it's not this one? How do you know this? What about dinosaurs? And what about Big Bangs? And all this kind of stuff? Right. So
there's lots out there.
Yeah, exactly.
You have to decide which thing, evolution is a thing.
Exactly. Right. Yeah. So I found myself in the first couple of years of my Christianity just pouring into all these like different books on apologetics and defense and this, and even reading books by, Richard Dawkins and Christopher Hitchens and the atheists that were talking about why they don't believe God exists and all this, because, hey, maybe they're right. I need to look into that too. Maybe they have a convincing argument. Well, it's like watching all sides
of the news stories.
The political stuff, yeah. Exactly. And that's kind of been my thing, is like, I don't care what the truth is, but that's what I want. Yeah. Right. And I've told people, when I have atheists on here, I'll tell them, I say, hey, if you're right as an atheist, I want to know that. If that's actually true and there is no God, what am I doing? Like, why am I wasting my life believing in some invisible magic fairy man up in the sky that doesn't even exist? Like, you know what I'm saying?
But there's so many things that I feel like, and I don't even know if I can articulate this properly, so I'm going to try. Yeah. But I feel like there's so many things that are not explainable. Mm-hmm. They're not science. They're not...
You're sure.
They're not... Like, how do we explain things?
Right.
Sometimes.
Yeah.
And I get that, maybe some people do tie that stuff to science, but that's when, like, you go through a questioning phase and you're like, how does certain things exist? Like, I look at the human body and I think, how on earth did we come to be?
Yeah.
With all of our intricate systems, how our brain works,
yep.
How we've evolved.
Right.
Like, I don't know how to explain that.
Yeah.
Other than it was a divine creation.
Yes.
Like,
that's the only explanation that makes any sense.
I truly do not believe that we started out as an amoeba and we've evolved into this. There's just, I just can't wrap my head around that theory, but I know there's other people who have a different brain that can.
Right.
Which one of us is right? Which one of us is wrong? Who's to say?
I am. You are right.
I know, but... I can't wrap my head around that thinking. Mm-hmm. I just look at so many amazing things in this world. Like, I was looking at my dog last night and, I was like, she's the cutest little thing ever.
Yeah.
How does she function? She's this little furry thing with 4 legs and she has a heart and a brain and a personality and like she's an invention of the most miraculous thing because she's, and it's like, I don't know. It's hard for me to articulate, but it's hard for me to understand, but I can't think of any other way that it has come about other than it's a miraculous
I'm with you.
thing. And the earth did not explode to create us.
Right.
Right. Like my husband, bless his soul, believes in aliens.
Okay.
And I can't wrap my head around life on other planets.
Okay.
But he doesn't believe in ghosts, and I fully believe that there are ghosts, angels, and demons.
Okay.
So it's like we have this total divide in our house of stuff. I cannot wrap my mind around a spaceship from another atmosphere and planet coming by and checking out our planet and going. Yeah. I just can't do it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I listened to a podcast the other day about what they think that is. And it's like...
What they think, like, visitations are, you mean?
Well, there's a lot of people that speculate that those are angels and demons, right? Or they're extraterrestrial is really more of a spirit thing, not a little green man.
Right.
That's gonna, hey, I'm from, the planet whatever.
Right.
So, I don't know. There's just so much we don't know. Yeah. And there's so much... that every person has to kind of make their own decision about some stuff. And I get that people are like, follow the science. But I think we learned that sometimes following the science is not the best way to go.
Yeah.
So it's like, I don't know.
No, for sure.
It's hard for me to articulate that stuff, so I hope I made sense.
I'm understanding completely, but I think it's because I get you. I understand. I'm with you on this. But I'm curious, you mentioned that you believe in angels and demons and ghosts. Do you think ghosts are angels and demons, or do you think that's a completely separate entity? Like, in other words, do you think a ghost is literally the soul of a person that was a live human and then since died? Yes. I think that ghosts are like the umbrella. Okay.
And there's lots of things under ghosts. So, yes, I think souls are here on the earth, and I think not all of them are good.
Okay.
Right? You know, you hear about these haunting stories and all this stuff, and I think there are angels that come down to protect us.
Yeah.
And I think that there are people who want to harm us.
Yeah.
Just like in regular life, right?
Sure.
I think there are souls that are trapped that need to be released. And that's the part that I struggle with religion, right? Mm-hmm. Because I believe in some of that stuff. It's like, why is there a soul here that needs to move on? That's harming people because it needs to move on, because it didn't finish something in life, right?
Yeah.
But then I can tell you that I had an angel protecting my house when I was a single mom. I left my garage door open sometimes at nights. No one ever broke into my house. It was accidental, of course. Mm-hmm. I had things that should have been thrown off that weren't, right? I had an angel that watched over me before before my husband moved in. Mm-hmm. And I don't think it was my dad.
Yeah.
I think it was an entity that either he sent.
Sure.
But I was protected. Mm-hmm. And part of that, I think, is because my mother prays for me every single day.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
She prays for me and my kids and her other daughters and their kids, Mm-hmm. She prays for us every single day. And so we are protected.
Yeah.
And I think that that's what angels do.
Yeah.
They're here to, they talk about your guardian angel working overtime. Sometimes our guardian angel works overtime.
Yeah. Mine always needs to.
I think that sometimes we get stopped at a red light to avoid an accident.
Sure.
And I think that our angel helps us there. Yeah. You know what I mean? I think that...
Yeah. What's funny is we're angry about it sometimes.
I know.
Oh, stupid red light. Now I'm going to be late to work. Ah, and then you get up and there's some 4-car pileup or something. Like, oh, okay. I
mean, it happens. You see it. And it's like... I believe in coincidences too. So that, there's things that are coincidental.
Yeah.
But I do think that if you believe in that stuff, that you can have those protections. That for me, I believe that I have protections because I'm blessed in that way. Yeah. And I hope everyone is like that. I want everyone to be blessed and protected. I understand that there's a lot of bad in this world, and I don't like that. I don't want that to be there. I want people to be blessed, and I want them to feel blessed in their life no matter who they are. I want them to feel like they have good things going on.
Sure.
When you look at the glass half full instead of half empty, and they've done tons of studies on this. When you have a positive attitude and you think life is good and you do good things, your outcome is better, right? They do they know that with medicine, and they know that with successful careers and all these things, I have big dreams for my job. Will it ever come true?
Yeah.
I don't know, but I'm not going to stop dreaming of those things.
Sure.
I'm not going to stop dreaming that I have my own building someday and that I'm able to run a neuro gym for anybody that needs it.
Yeah.
And that I don't have to be in 1,300 square feet with 20 people, right? And make it work.
Yeah.
So I think that, whether you believe in a higher power or whether you just believe in the glass half full, everybody has to find their way with that.
Right. Why are the only two options the glass is half full or the glass is half empty? Can't it just be all the way full?
It can be.
Can it just be a full glass?
Yeah.
I mean, when I pour myself something to drink, it's a full glass. I never pour myself half a glass of anything. Yeah, look at this, the size of this thing. That's like a 40 ounce of chai.
No, and we should look as the glass full.
Right.
I think that's just an old saying that maybe isn't the best way to put it. I love a full glass. Yeah. I feel like my glass is full all the time.
Yeah.
I have a very full life, and I enjoy everything I do. I'm very blessed. My husband is wonderful. My kids are great.
Yeah.
I have a very fulfilling career. Even though at times my life is stressful, I love all the service work I do in the community. If I didn't have to work and if I only did volunteer service, I would love that.
Yeah.
I feel like my job is doing a service to the community, so I never want to give that up.
Right.
But I love the community stuff that I do. I think that fulfills me more than anything. And it's all free. Like I do all of it as volunteer, you know?
Right.
And to me, that fills my cup.
Yep.
I love it. And I don't ever want anything in return for that. Right. I want to give.
Yeah.
I don't need anything. I want to give.
Right.
And that's what makes me happy. You know, I don't do it for self-serving reasons. I do it because I want to benefit the community. You know, like I help run the Old Orchid Christmas Parade. And
oh, do you?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
I'm the traffic volunteer coordinator.
We always sit down right by Charlie's right there so we can get some good burgers.
Oh, so that's not the route this year. You're not going to be able to sit by Charlie's.
Dang it.
They changed the route.
Oh.
It's going to be better for the town though. We've done a lot of work.
Okay.
But yeah, I love doing that because I want to see that parade successful. I want to see the community enjoy it. I want to see those things. You know, I want to be involved. And at the end of that day, I'm happy to go home and I'm happy we did it. Nice. I don't need anything after that, you know?
Well, you talked about a calling earlier and how yours is not evangelism, but see this is obviously.
My calling is to help people with neurological conditions. I truly know that. That is my calling in life. When I found that, it was like, I felt whole.
Yeah. Your cup was all the way filled.
My cup was full. And, you know, there's a couple other things I do around the community that definitely overflow that cup. Mm-hmm. I really am blessed in the life that I have here. You know, it's so funny when I moved away in 93, I swore I'd never come back. I'm never coming back to California. I'm never coming back to Santa Maria. You couldn't pay me enough to come back here.
Yeah.
Well, then I had my dad got sick and
is that what brought you back?
That's what brought me back. My dad got sick. He had pulmonary fibrosis. He was a Vietnam vet. We moved back. I uprooted my entire family, and unfortunately, my first husband and I didn't make it through the transition. So, you know, my life's been very different the last 10 years. But I absolutely love being back here now. You know, this is not the town I remember when I was a kid. It's different.
Changed a little bit.
Well, it's different.
Yeah.
And of course, it's going to evolve and get more people and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But I love doing what I do here. Mm-hmm. And I love knowing what's going on and being involved and helping where I can and, you know, that kind of stuff. Sure. I don't feel like I ever could have really done that where I was living before because it was such a big area. I would have never known where to start.
Right.
And I feel like here... Yeah, I had some jumping off to do. So
right. That was probably all part of the plan, though. I mean, you had to move away to gain what you gained doing that. And back here, and you're ready to rock.
I look back and I think, okay, I missed 21 years with my dad, who died at 66. Right? I could have taken over his business 20 years before I did.
Right.
I could have stayed and worked with him. I could have. Right? But when I look back at it. I wouldn't have the kids I have.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have the experience I have.
Yep.
I wouldn't have met my second husband, who is the best thing since sliced bread, right? I wouldn't have met his kids, who I adore, you know?
Yeah.
Being a bonus mom is so great to them. I absolutely adore it. Mm-hmm. You know, like, there's so much I would have missed out on if I wouldn't have moved, right? I would have missed living with my aunt and uncle, who I learned so much from, right? And they're like a second set of parents to me.
Yeah.
They didn't have kids, so, you know, they took an 18-year-old in.
Nice.
They took an 18-year-old in after never having kids. And, you know, everybody's like, you're crazy. And they're like, we probably are. But we have a great relationship. And it had bumps and stuff. And I was a stupid 18, 19-year-old, whatever.
Yeah.
But I learned a lot from them. And I continue to learn a lot from them. We still have a great relationship.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't change the way I've lived my life, you know?
Yeah.
So, you know, it's great. I love being back. I love all the things I do. My cup is definitely full.
Awesome.
Yeah, it's
Very
definitely
cool.
full.
All right, that's it. Well, thanks.
Yeah.
This was fun. This was really cool.
Thank you so much for checking out another episode of this podcast. Please reach out to me at whycan'twetalkabout at proton.me and let me know what you think. And again, please don't forget to share this with everyone that you know. Thank you.